very able speaker. He came from the Philippines, of course, but he's now residing out of the country. He is a Cambridge exam officer for Center ID 134 in Indonesia. He is the head of Department for Science, Singapore Piaget Academy at Solaraya. He is a DST scholar, Philippine Normal University, under BS Physics for Teachers. He was a DepEd NAEP scholar at De La Salle University in his in his Master of Arts in Education major in physics. He was also a smart communication scholar for Master of Arts in Education major in instructional media and design. Friends, let's give a virtual applause to Sir Marlon A. Yuson, Head of Department of Science Singapore Piaget Academy Solaraya.
Oh, hello everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes po, loud and clear.
Yes, sir.
All right, great. Sir, can you give me between 1 and 2 minutes? Meron lang po akong ayusin, saglit lang. Biglang
Okay, sir.
Okay, while our resource speaker is actually setting up, I'd just like to mention the participants from Zambales City are all complete. However, nagloloko lang daw po ang internet connection po ni Ma'am Rochelle de Viva. But they are all complete.
Ma'am Jane, kindly... okay na pala. No?
All right, everyone, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
But by the way, before I start, thank you very much, Ma'am Jane, for the very nice introduction. Marahil nagtataka po yung karamihan. I'm a science teacher, but Mr. Nuesca invited me to do a speaking, what is this? Webinar about the Google Apps for education today. For everyone's information, I was also teaching mathematics before. Buti na lang, pero most of my subjects are in physics. Buti na lang it's not maths. Mathematics is very hard subject. So I'll share my screen now. I'm actually sharing it. So as you can see, as a start, I want to do some storytelling for a while. It's about the story of us. And then we'll try to connect this one to the topic that I was assigned to discuss with you by Dr. Nuesca. So basically, the story is about what we did in the past before the pandemic and the school closures and all. So basically, it runs in a circle like this. It's kind of a cycle. And the story starts with the when the teacher enter the room, tapos pagkatapos po niyan na mga estudyante nasa loob, tapos makikipag-interact po tayo sa kanila. And within themselves also, they are interacting. And then after that, we always have objectives every time we go inside our classes. And after those activities that we gave to them, usually we do some checking whether our objectives are met or not. And based from our checking of those things, we provide some feedback for each of our students or the class as a whole. And then with those things, this one, the feedback, the teachers checking, what we always do is to do some follow-ups. Or basically, these are the one that we call intervention for, especially for those students that are actually didn't get, didn't get the ideas we are teaching fully yet. So this is basically what happens in the entire period that we had in our classroom before, and it repeats the next day, and probably the next day also, or sometimes a week, all right, or more than a week, until we finish the entire topic or the entire what is that unit. And then after that one, we do some kind of assessment. We usually call this summative assessment, or sometimes we continue with all the content that we need to discuss for the entire term or one grading period, so that we can provide our parents with the progress report card. However, guys, sa sitwasyon po natin ngayon, we cannot do this the way we used to because of this distance consideration. And usually, I'm hearing things through the internet about this physical distance and social distance. Right now, there is no, it is advised that the physical distance should be, considered. That's why there are some school closures also. But this thing about the social distancing that people are mentioning, we shouldn't stop this. But because as you can see, we have here interaction, and usually our students are learning by interacting with each other. They construct their knowledge by interacting with people and things. And also remember that humans are like social being. Okay, so we should do physical distancing, but we have to maintain social distance with our students. So ang gagawin natin po, ang ginagawa po natin ngayon is to find some platforms and applications that can help us to still do what we used to do. This is story of us in another platform, the distance learning. So ito po yung naibigay po sa akin ni Mr. Nuesca last time. So in our case, marami pong possibilities, but one of those is the Google application. This company is actually giving us a lot of application. One of this, the one you're seeing on your screen, this is the Google Classroom. They also have Google Groups. They also have Hangouts. This was the original Meet. And they have another one. This is a video conferencing app. This is called the Duo. And of course, we have the Gmail, the Google Meet that we are using right now. And YouTube is also a product of Google. And Google Earth, if you're teaching subjects related to maps, right, location of places on Earth, then this one is a very good app for it. And same thing, the maps is the Google Maps. We can also use this. We just need to do some creativity in restructuring our lessons using this app. And another thing, we have culture and arts. Culture and arts. This one is Google Drawing. And we have Google Translate also, especially for those people or teachers that are teaching languages. This is a Google Translate. And we have Google Slides. Most of you are familiar with that already. And we have this one, Google Sheets and Google Docs and the Jamboard. All right, the Jamboard. Yesterday, our second speaker, oh no, the first speaker, I think Mr. Manuelito, he discussed about Zoom and some other platforms where we can do some meetings, and they have built-in whiteboards. In Google Meet, we don't have that, but later I will show you that we can have one using this Jamboard here. All right. And another thing, which is going to be another focus in this portion of the webinar, I will be discussing more about the Google Forms, because as a teachers, we also do some assessment. We also plan assessment, we deliver assessment, and based on the data we gather from the assessment, we try to analyze our classes and plan our lessons based on that. All right, so Google Chrome is also a product. This is the browser. I recommend you use this one whenever you use Google applications, because you see there will be no compatibility issue. And there are many more. And based on those many apps that I just presented, I created a graph. I'm trying to link this talk to some mathematics concepts. I tried to create what do you call this, Cartesian plane. But instead of plotting X and Y, I have here one person. These are many persons here, many people here. So basically, what I'm trying to say in this Cartesian plane is that I will be graphing some of the apps based on its nature. Like, is it intended for a person, or it can be used by interacting with other people, things like that. And also, I tried to group the subjects that we have in school. I have here science, math stream. So most of the subject, this might include geography subject, business, economic subjects. Here I have humanities arts stream, which includes the language also. And I tried to plot here those apps that we have. So we have the Google Translate there, most likely. The arts and culture is there. And the Google Maps is going to be at the middle. It can be used by subjects in the science stream or math stream, and also the same in humanities and arts stream. And also, you have Google Shopping, most likely in the humanities and arts stream. You can use that. Just use some creativity in it. Google Calendar is probably at the middle because it can be done in all these areas. And same goes to Google Drawing. The Chrome is there. The Gmail is there. We have the Google Earth. We have the Google Meet. The Classroom is still going to be at the middle because it can be used by everyone. And here we have Docs, Sheets, Jamboard. We have here Slides. We also have the Google Meet in YouTube right here, Groups, and many others. Okay, so I plotted all the apps like that. And because as you can see, we need to consider things in picking the Google Apps. When Dr. Nuesca asked me to do this thing, I was thinking which one, because there are so many. So what I did is this one, so that I can have a picture of what to select or what to deliver in this webinar. So what I considered was the target. Targets or objectives of teachers in delivering their lessons in a mathematics class, and that's gonna be with that I learned that the apps that I should be discussing with you should be somewhere here. Still, there are so many, so I tried to trim those down. Okay, some of these will be discussed, some couldn't, because I only have like I think 3 hours for this session. Okay, so there are so many of those at the middle, the one that I put in the box. And what I want to show you right now are the things that you can expect after this portion of the webinar. And also at the same time, I want you to look at the rundown of the activities, what's going to happen, what to expect. All right, I have here the first quadrant of the Cartesian plane. And at the x or positive x-axis, I try to put here the time, or we can call it webinar time. All right, from right now it's almost 9, and then we are going to do this until 12. And also at the y-axis, you have there the Google. You know, what I'm thinking here is that as time goes by, your Google understanding should be increasing with this portion of the webinar. All right, I'll try to do some segmenting of the entire time, the one given to me. And most likely our first segment, which should be happening right now, is this, which I will be discussing the Google Classroom first. And supposedly Google Meet, but this one was already covered by our speakers yesterday, so I removed that one from my plans. And I have here a second segment. We are going to discuss this Google form and the 3 icons here, docs, sheets, and slides. And then the third segment is going to be Jamboard. Okay? So I arranged it like this because I want to go through the management apps, those apps available in Google that can be used in managing our students, and our records also. And the second part is going to be about assessment. Actually, in this first part, the management, we can also do some discussion about a little assessment there. All right, and the last part is going to be those collaboration tools that we can use inside our classroom. Remember, our students, including us, as their teachers, are actually social beings. We need collaboration to construct understanding of things, even mathematics or sciences or any other subjects. Okay, so as you can see here, I have some interval between segments. Well, most likely I will be doing some breakout sessions later. And though we are using Google Meet, unlike in other platforms that they have built-in break up or breakout sessions, or they split the class into several groups, in our Google Meet, we have got to do some work around because it's not a built-in feature of the Google Meet. So I'll show you how to do that later. Okay, and another thing that you can expect for today, at around 12, I'm sorry for that. This is red star that I just drew there. Most likely, we are going to do some graphic organizers using the Jamboard. And if we still have time, and if the moderator of this webinar will permit me, we can do some presentation maybe by division, using this Jamboard as a collaborative or collaboration tool. Okay, so I think we can go now to the first part, or the first app for today. It's gonna be this Google Classroom. All right, let me remove this thing. Sorry. All right, guys. Can somebody tell me what you see on your screens right now? Sir Sunny, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Are you seeing my browser?
It's a
Yes,
Google
sir.
Tab.
So this is a browser, yeah.
A Google
So Google
environment,
browser.
sir.
Oh,
It's a
okay, okay.
Google environment.
O, sige po. So, what I'm going to show you is the basic thing about the Google Classroom. Some of you might have know how to do this already, but when I'm planning my discussion today, I was thinking I better go from the basic. All right. So what we're going to do now is to start with creating our classes. So as you can see, if your account, when you log in your Google browser, your avatar is going to be here. In my case, this one, the one appearing in the Google Meet when you speak and your camera is not turned on. All right, that's your avatar. Then at the left side of that, you will see 9 dots, and this one is the Google Apps. And when you click this thing will show you all those apps available for you to use from Google. Now, in our case here, you can see this search maps, and most are already shown to you in my slide a while ago. Now, the one that we will be using is the classroom. I'll be clicking this icon is the classroom. I'll be clicking that. Sorry. Okay. If you haven't used the classroom yet, you will be seeing the same screen as mine right now. It's a blank thing. There's no classes joined, or you haven't created any class with your Google Classroom app with your account. So what we are going to do as teachers is to click this plus sign here, meaning we create something. It's either join a class or you create a class. So in our case, we do the creation of the class, and you will be notified like this. And you are so lucky. You have G Suite's account from the DepEd. But in my case right now, I have G Suite's account also, but I decided to just use the free account. So in this case, this is the first thing that you will be seeing after clicking create class. Then just click this one after reading the agreement. All right, then click continue. And this box that will pop up on your screen is going to be those details that you should your class. For example, the class name. All right, this one. Maybe what we can do here is to just type demo classroom. Okay, and section. You can type the section there. Maybe what we can do here, for example, is DepEd, and the subject can be maths. Right. After that, you can just click create here, or let's see what will happen. All right. So we have already created the classroom. So the idea is that quick recall, you click the plus sign. After clicking the icon, you click the plus sign at the upper right corner of the screen, and then you will be prompted with a message in a box asking you to choose what to do. It's either you join a class or you create a class. Now, in our case, we create the class. All right. So this one is it. These are the things that I encoded at the beginning. I wrote the class name and the section. All right. And as you can see here, we have a class code. This is the one that we are going to share to our students if you want them to join your class. All right. I created some accounts a while ago so that I can demonstrate this to you. So maybe I'll open it now. Hold on for a minute. All right, I'll change this one to. I created 2 accounts actually, so you can show. I can show you how it looks like when you are using Google Classroom already, and how it looks like also at the ends of the students. I actually created 2 accounts here. The other one is, hold on. All right, so this is the idea, guys. So you see, we set the classroom already, and then now we want to invite our students. So what we are going to do, you come here at this page. What you can see here is the class code, and there's a symbol there that says display. So that's it. And then just click this one, highlight, or double click. Done. It will double click that. It will automatically be highlighted, and then copy it. Usually Control C or Command C. That's the command for copying this thing, the highlighted one. And then we can go. We can ask our students to go to the Google app also, Classroom. All right. This one. This is my accounting school. All right. This one should be Classroom also. All right. So I'm showing you that because sometimes our students really doesn't know how to do it. So you can just give some instructions. You can tell them to open the browser, log in their accounts, click the 9 dots, and then from those lists of Google applications, they should pick the icon that corresponds to the Google Classroom, and this is the one that they will be seeing. Okay, the 2 accounts that I created are now here. All right, this is student 1, I think. All right, I think the same student. All right, this is another. Hold on. Okay, this is one student, and this one is another student. So you see, I will be you've got to tell them to do the same thing. You go to the Google Classroom and click the plus sign at the upper right corner of the browser. This one, but in our case a while ago. Hold on. Sorry, I'm in Indonesia right now. It's this one is their language. I'll just set this one to English. Or maybe later, Anyway, you have seen this a while ago. The first one here is the, what is this? Join a class and then create a class. Let me check. I don't know. Let me clarify. All right. Join a class is the first one, and create a class is the second one. Now, this one is the one that they need to click. Join a class. And then this one will appear. They will be asked to type in the code here. Okay? They will be asked to type in the code here. And maybe they can use Control V. And there we go. The code is already there. And then they join. Okay, we do the same to the other. Okay, so they are already in. One of our students, one of those students, the one that encoded the code and joined the class a while ago, the one that I showed, should be appearing here now. Okay, so it should be appearing here now, and you can see them from this tab. You see, this was the first one. This is the student that just joined our class. Let's join the other one also. This guy here. Join class. Control V to enter the code, and then click the join button. All right, there we go. This is the ones being that the students should see in their screens. All right. Now here it's automatically updated. So you see, I have two students now. Okay, so that's how you do it when you want to invite students in your classroom. So the next thing that I want to discuss with you is these tabs at the center. This center, the top part portion of the browser. You have your stream, classwork, people, and grades. Now for the stream part, these are interaction page for you and for your students. So everything that is being communicated has a copy in here. Okay, so if you are going to look at this, I have here I have here demo class. This one will be enabled if you have more than one class. In our case here, we only have one class, so this one is disabled. So you see, I cannot click this. Okay. Now you can put some message here. Maybe we can just say hello. All right, and then you can also add some file for your students. Okay, you can also add some files for your student. And the same can be seen by your students as well. You see? By the way, I changed the color of the tab. If it's this color, it's gonna be ours. This is our view as teachers. And for this color, this is going to be the view of the students for the gray one. All right. So you see, they also have the same thing. All right. They can also post something in this stream page. Okay. And then we can communicate with each other. Like for example, this one, hello. I put here, how are you? And then just click post. And our students, those people who are inside our classroom will be receiving a notification in their email, or if they are inside the Google Classroom, they should be seeing something in their stream page. This one. See, let's just refresh that. Okay, there you go. This is the student view. So you see the teacher, the one here, the one that was posted is already here. Now your students can type in something here to communicate with you. Let's say this student said fine. And for the other one, okay, let's try to refresh this one. Okay, you see, this was the first student who already commented. As you can just see who already commented. The other one hasn't commented anything. Yet. So maybe we can just put here. Not that. Right. So this one, after refresh, they should be seeing each other's comments. You see this one in our teacher's view. You can see that there is something here that is that's said to class comments. Those are the comments from our students. We can also reply to that. Okay, right, like that. Okay, and they should be seeing those things. All right, right now we have this. All right, somebody joined my class. Okay, all right, good. So we have a lot here, okay? Your discussion with the students will be all communicated via this stream, okay? All right, now, the next thing that I will be showing you is this classwork, all right? For the classwork, we don't have any classwork right now. We are going to create one. Oh, by the way, this button is the one that creates those works that we are going to give to our students. And the moment you click that, you will be prompted, to pick what kind of classwork are you going to give them. You can use, if you have posted something before, then you can reuse the post, all right? And also, you can just deliver some materials to your students, like video links or video itself or some worksheets, okay? And there's this question here, all right, quiz assignment and assignment. Maybe we can pick a question for our first post here, okay? So what we can write here, any question, let's say, how was the webinar in day one? All right, like that. Okay, so you can add also attachments here, or you can create something directly using Google Apps like Docs, Slides, Sheets, Drawing, or Forms. Okay, another thing that you have to that can help us in providing our students with some classworks is this tab here, all right, or this option here. It is automatically a short answer, but there is an option here. You can ask them question that like a multiple choice. Okay, like for example, this one. This was our question. You can just say fine, great, excellent. Maybe you can have something like this. All right. Okay. Now another thing, you can assign points there. In this case, the automatic points is 100. It's up to you if you can also assign them like 10 marks only or 10 points only for this particular question, or sometimes it's just a mere question, something that you want some answers from them in order for you to start, whatever the response, you're going to use that to start your lesson. We usually do that, like eliciting some ideas from our students, and then from those ideas, we deliver our lessons until they got the new idea from us. So yeah, you can click ungraded also if that is the case. All right, but in our case here, we have it was 100, but I changed it to just 10. All right, you can also put the deadline here, okay, if you want, but we are not going to do that for this. All right, now, and also some topic, okay. I'm not going to take this for a while because I want to show you where your question will go if you don't pick a topic. All right, now let's do this ask now. All right, click that one, and when this is done, uh, the thing, they will be notified via email, that's one, or via notification if they're using their gadgets, all right, the one that appears like your Facebook. There's a notification on top of the screen, so it can be done like that. And also if they are inside the classroom or the Google Classroom, they should be seeing this already. All right, all right, in our case, we are in the teacher's view. I'll go to the student's view like this one. Okay, all right, stream was updated, we have to show it now. So this one was the one that I just posted. Okay, we can students will be clicking that, and this one should be the one that they have, the one that they have or seeing in their computer screen. So this was your question. You can also communicate with your teacher, their teacher. Your students will can communicate to you using this space here. All right, you can just say teacher hi. And this comment, guys, can be seen by everyone in the class. Okay. However, if your students want to communicate privately with you, you use this one. So this one is for the entire class, and this one is for between you and the student only. All right. All right. Maybe I'll just say hello there, so you will see later. Okay. Now, these are the MCQ options or the multiple choice question. This was our question, and these are the options that we set a while ago. Okay. Okay. If I'll be answering this, I would pick excellent. The two speakers yesterday were really great. All right. So this one, they'll click hand in. Okay. Let's see what will happen if they click this hand in. And now we go back here. Let's click this. You see, there's already an update here. It says here, in teacher's view, it says here we already have one comment, teacher hi, which was the one the student wrote here. Okay. Now, where can I see this hello? That was That was the one intended for the teacher only. Is a private message. So you can find that only if you click this. All right. So you see, this is the thing. Uh, there are two responses already, and both responded excellent. No one have chosen fine yet. No one has chosen great yet. No one have chosen savage. Okay. All right. Now, imagine this is your question about mathematics and any other subjects. All right. And then based from what they submitted or their responses, uh, you can now give them some grades. Maybe 8/10. Maybe uh, this one is 10/10. I won't be giving any grade for this because this guy or this student hasn't submitted his work yet. All right. So you see, and then when I click return, you see this one. It's like the actual paper that we have inside the classroom. For example, you give them a quiz, you give them worksheets, they submit it to you, and then we mark, and then we return it. This is the same thing. We are returning. We are going to return their works with their corresponding marks written on it. Or you can also put some messages to them here. Okay. Okay, I'm returning the work. This is my message uh, uh, that accompanies the work. Okay, I'll just return this. Usually, what I do is this is a general message to all. Like I'm returning works all at the same time with a general remark here. All right, I always do that. I'm not saying this is the correct way to do it, but in my case, I'm saying that one general feedback, maybe general feedback. All right. Now, if you want to talk to them in private, you can also use this thing. All right. You can also use this thing. Okay. There's another one here. Okay. So let's go to our next student here. This one is student 2. I created another account. This one. Okay. All right. Let's click this. All right. So this guy or this kid hasn't answered the question yet. Maybe we put great this time. And then this one is submit or hand in. Okay. The same thing as what I did with the other student. And basically what the other person who just joined my class by seeing the code did. So, all right. So let's see what will happen here. Okay, this should be updating. Maybe my internet is not so good right now. All right, there. All right, so this one, if you're going, hold on for a while, guys. You can see it from here as well. All right, at the classwork, when you click this work that you gave them, you will be seeing these numbers. All right. So right now, two have been graded. And there are no more assigned work because everyone in your class already submitted. And there's one that needs to be reviewed or marked. All right, the one that just turned in. Okay, so this one are all done. Nothing to follow up anymore because everybody did their work. All right, this one is the one of our concern. Let's click this. Okay, and then say you've read the response. All right, the response will appear here. Or if you require some uploads of some files, you look at the files and then based from your rubrics, you give them some say scores. All right, maybe this guy only got 5. All right, so it's saving. When this is already saved, you will see draft because it hasn't been returned. Okay. Okay, we are going to return this work with the score to the student. And when you do that, they will be notified that a classwork has been returned by the teacher and what was the score, what is the score given to the work, and what other comments the teacher would give. All right, for example, if it's not perfect, comments can be how to make it perfect, what is lacking from the response. All right, things like that. Okay. So yeah, so that's for the for the what is this tab called again? This is classwork tab. Sorry. All right, classwork tab. All right. Now I want to go back here again. Create. Usually, in my case, by the way, I've done this in the past 4 years already. Because in Indonesia we already closed schools in mid March. So, but the school year hasn't been wasn't completed yet. So we don't have any other choice but to deliver distance learning or this online learning. And I've been using this, and we in the topic here is usually something that makes you classify all your posts. All right, it depends on how you want to organize it, but in my case I put the topic, or sometimes I'll show you another thing, some recommendations later. All right, but for the purpose of just showing you, we can just say comment session 1 here. All right, okay, this is a topic, you can write it there. This is graphing techniques or algebra, all right, or conic sections, whatever your topic is, all right. Now, this one wasn't given a topic a while ago. You can actually organize that by going to the question again, and then you see these 3 dots here. Oh, by the way, in all Google applications, whenever you see 3 dots, it means more actions, all right. Here, what other things can I do here? There are more options here or more actions here. You just click that, and you have here either you delete it or you edit it. Now I want to edit it because I want this to be listed under a particular topic. All right. So this one, I have already created the topic named session 1. I want this question to be placed there just for organization, and then click save. All right, there we go. If we click this, you see I have the topic under session 1 already. Now imagine you have another topic. Maybe after a week you have already completed the entire unit, and you are ready now to proceed to the next unit. And the next unit is to be named here. In our case, I'll just name it session 2. Okay, so that's another topic. All your classworks related to this topic, you should be under this, like this one. Okay, to make it like more organized. Actually, you can reorganize it. You can pull this down. All right, depending on which one would you like to appear in your screen. All right. Okay, but in my case, usually the one on top, so that I won't be scrolling down up to the bottom. I always put the topic that is the latest. All right, just an example for you guys. You can have any other preferences. Okay. All right. So that's for the classwork. Okay, we are going now to here. We go to stream, back to the stream. As you can see, this panel here, this one, if you have a lot of work and you set deadlines, those works that you give to the students will be all listed here. All right, just a reminder for you. Okay, tomorrow there will be a deadline for this topic, or I gave them a research work, and the deadline is going to be tomorrow, so I should be going back. All right, like that one. All right. Now this view all is something like a to-do list. All right, to-do list. All right, this one. Okay. Right now, we have one classwork, and everything is done. All right. Okay, and everything is done. Okay. If you have a lot, all will be listed here. It's like a to-do list, the normal to-do list that we have to organize things. All right. Now we go to people here. We go to people. You see, we have two like topics. Just we have teachers here and students. The students that joined my class are all here. All right, they will be all here. You can add few more here, which I'm going to do later because this one is needed for the break up sessions or breakout sessions or split sessions. The one that I was telling at the beginning of my talk that available in Zoom and some other platforms, but in Google Meet we don't have. But we can do some work around. This is one example, and there will be many more. All right. Okay, so these are the students. Later, I will be inviting people to join this class so I can show how breakout session or split sessions or group works can be done. All right, during our online classes. Okay, I cannot create a lot of emails just to do the thing. And also, I will be distributing some materials via this Google group later. All right, like links to some resources. All right. So as you can see, under teachers, we only have one, and this is me. You can also usually in as a practice in our school, what we usually do here is that if you have a co-teacher in your class, then you invite that person also here. So his email will be listed, or you can see the avatar under the teacher. All right, and also your department head to monitor your class, or usually they invite them here also, and the principal for observation purposes. All right, or to monitor. All right, so this is gonna be it. In the Philippines, I know we have some practice teachers. I don't know if how is it going to be done now. All right, if you will be given a practice teacher, you might want to include your practice teacher in your Google Classroom by clicking this one. Okay. All right. So that's for the people. All right. We have here another one. By the way, I have four tabs here in the teachers page. We have four tabs. In the students page, they only have three. All right, three tabs only because we have these class records. The one that they did, everything will be summarized in this tab, right? Like this one. When you click this, the names of the students will be here, and this was the title of your activity, and these were the scores given to your students. Okay, these were the scores given to your students, and maybe for the purpose of just showing it to you, I'll go and create another post so that we can have other numbers here. So because in my case here, you won't see any difference if I change the setting later. So at least I should give you I should show you two activities or two classworks. All right, I'll go to the classworks. I'll create another one here. Maybe an assignment. You see, test. It doesn't matter. You can put some further instructions here, all right? And you can add this just like the same thing. If you have something inside your computer, all right, save in your computer, you click file. If you want to share a link in YouTube, you click this. Or any other link in other places in the internet, you click this. If your file is saved in your Google Drive, you can just click this. Or if you don't have those, you can just create something, yeah, as an attachment to your assignment. Okay, just like in the same thing, we have automatic here at automatic points. You can change that. Maybe you can do it like this time 15. All right. Now this one you can set this one also, but this time I will be using the other session as a topic. Click that, and then click assign. All right, there we go. So the one that we just did is listed under the classwork tab. It is listed in the other topic here. It says here test. Okay, so yeah, maybe let's have our students answer that very quickly. Oh, it's not here. Let me refresh it. All right, this one. Let's do the same thing with the other. This one very quickly. The one that joined my class, Mr. Sir or Mom, can you do the answering also and submit? All right, I'll go to the class to the grades. All right, there's nothing here yet because I haven't marked anything yet. All right, so what will I do? I'll go to the classwork, go to the particular activity or classwork that I provided. What you can see here, turned in 0, assigned 3. I only have 3 students in this classroom, and they all receive notifications in their inboxes, all right, or their gadgets, or if they're online with the Google Classroom. So what will I do? I want to view the assignment by clicking that. And say, imagine guys that they have submitted their work. So I'll be just grading them. Let's say this one is 14. This one is say 2 only. This guy only scored 8. Okay, and then return. All right, let's go back to the grades. Oh, by the way, when you return that, just like what I was saying, your students should be receiving notification from you. All right, with the score you provided and some feedback if you want, if you have written something in there. All right, now I click grades now. There used to be nothing here, but because I returned the grades, so those grades that I returned will automatically be listed here. Okay. Now, this is just a raw scores. So there's no treatment, statistical treatment yet. Or if you can also set the classroom or Google Classroom to calculate the grades for you. Okay, you can do that by clicking this setting. All right, this one at the upper right corner of the screen. Click this one, and you scroll down. You scroll down, and it's at the bottom, the grading here. Okay, right now we don't have any overall grade for the students because this one is not enabled. All right, and another thing, there was no overall grade calculation also because that was the default setting. Now, what you can do is to change that one. You can put total points. You can ask the Google Classroom to calculate to give you the total points automatically, or you can do some weighted by weights by category. All right, you can just explore this one. I will show you this last option here, weighted by category. Okay, and maybe we can enable this. All right. Shows overall grade to students, so they will be seeing their grades. If you don't want that, you can just disable it. All right, now I chose weighted by category, then I have to define those category. So this one, I have to click this grade categories here. Now in the Philippines, I am not sure now because I haven't been into the DepEd for 5 years. So I don't know if you have some very specific grade category, but if you do, you can just type it here. Maybe this one is category 1, let's say classwork, online works, quizzes, or in this case of science, are these experiments, all right, things like that, all right. Maybe you have one category here, you can put here, you can define the percentage. Maybe this one only gets 30%. But for the sake of discussion, I will just be putting 2 categories here because we only have two exams to be categorized. So this one, make it 70. The total percentage here has to be 100. All right. In this case, we have 30 for the first category and 70 for the second category. So when you add that up, it's gonna be 100. So, and then don't forget to save, click this, and let's see what will happen. Okay, so this is the grades now, all right? So you see, there is no overall grade, no grade, no grade, no grade, no grade, because we didn't define this, which category should they go? is our test here, the one with the title test. Which category does this belong? And the same thing with this. What we can do is to click this and edit that one. All right. So you see, a while ago there was nothing here. There was no grade category option here. But because we set that into weighted average for the marking or the grading, you should be your this page will be different now with the addition of this one. So what you can do, you just pick those defined categories a while ago. Is this category 1 or category 2? You just do it yourself. It depends on what your purpose was. All right, what was the plan, and then save it. Okay. Now, so you see, we have here, and then this one doesn't have yet. Okay. I'll edit it also. No category, and you put that in the category that you decided, and then this one should appear. Okay. All right. This guy, pirate hunter. All right. Somebody just joined my class. I haven't given any grade yet, so there's no overall grade here. So it's pretty obvious. All right. So things like that. So you see, inside the Google Classroom, you can do a lot of things. You can have control to your students. You can use this for attendance also, delivering homeworks. Okay, and another thing, it can also give you a platform where your grades can be automatically calculated. All right. If the DepEd right now has some forms where you should put your grades for each grading period, then you just transfer this one there. Okay. And if you have something in a spreadsheet like Microsoft Excel, or maybe you are using Google Sheets already before, then what you can do also is to download a file, in a spreadsheet form, okay, like this one. All right, you just go to your whatever classwork you gave, and then there is this gear picture or icon here. This is setting. You click this one, and you will see this. You have an option of downloading all grades as CSV, download grades, these grades as CSV. You have here copy all grades to Google Sheets. So for the purpose of having Google Apps application here, I want to pick the first one, just to show you how it looks like when you want to get a copy of all the grades you gave to all your students. So yeah, you have that. You have the grades in the grades tab in this Google Classroom. You can also have those grades downloaded in a Google Sheets. All right, so I'll click that one. And sorry about that. My internet is a bit slow. All right, so this is it. So it looks like Excel, guys. All right, it's like this. If you have a lot of work in one grading period, then all those works will be listed here, and all those works will be calculated based on the criteria that you define, and the names of your students are listed here also. Okay. Listed here, the name here, all right, the first name or second, the last name here, all right, things like that. And then this is in Google Sheets. I will be discussing how to use this one, but this is pretty much the same as the Microsoft Excel that we've been using in the past years. If you're familiar with Excel, with the Google Sheets, or you don't want to use Google Sheets, you want to stick with your Excel, what you can do is just to copy the content of this thing, highlight, Control C, and then you go to the Excel and then paste it there, and then work on it just like what you were doing before. Okay, so that's another thing. And one last idea here is this part. You know, I've been telling that every time you post something, your students can also post something there. And every time people are posting something in your Google Classroom or responding to some posts and replying to others, you will get notification if in your inbox, and you will be having some notification in your gadgets also. All right. Some people look at it as very annoying because of those notifications. Every time there's something done in the Google Classroom, you get notifications. So in our case, we turn off the notification. We just go and visit our classroom if there's something that is done by the students or completed by the students. You might want to consider that also. I'm going to show you how. All right. If you don't want that, it's fine. If you want yourself to be notified every time something happened here, like somebody say hi, you get notified, and then somebody said hello, you get notified also. Okay. Somebody deleted the comment, then you get notified also. Every time something is done, you get notifications. If you don't like that, you click this thing and choose setting. And here is your setting. And you have here class notifications, and you get some emails also, email notification. Sorry. If you don't want to be notified through your email, then disable this. Okay? If you want to be notified, but you only want those, you have to you can have some filters here. All right, right now, the default is comment on your post, you get notified. Comments that mention you, you get notified. Private comments on work, you get notified. The same thing with these things. All right. So if you want to filter, you don't want these comments, you just turn it off. But if somebody, for example, this one has something to do with those assessments that we have, and some other messages from your other teachers, like invitation to co-teach your class. All right. If somebody wants to share the whatever is happening inside the classroom, they can invite you as co-teacher. All right. You get notified if this is enabled. If you don't want those, then disable everything. All right. It depends on your preferences, guys. All right. Okay. In this case, students cannot post anymore. All right. Hey, by the way, I've got a very interesting one here. Comments that mention you. This is something similar to Facebook. Like when you want to mention somebody, your friend, in a certain post in Facebook, you start typing the @ sign, and then you type the name. But in Google Classroom, you also have that. You also have that, but we don't use we don't use uh, @ sign. All right. Like for example, here there's one here. I'll click that. I'll go to the questions. So these are the thread for the messages of students that everyone can see inside this classroom. In Facebook, you start with an @ sign like that. All right. This one that I was telling. All right. We have the same thing here, but it's not an @ you use plus sign instead, like plus, maybe I can say student. All right. Well, you start typing your student email address here. For the first time, you get to do it yourself manually. But the next time you do this, uh, even with the first letter here, there will be autofill. Okay. So I repeat, yeah, we have that same function of mentioning or feature of mentioning people in your comments, just like in Facebook. All right, in Facebook they are using an @ sign. For Google Classroom, that @ sign is replaced by a plus sign. Okay. All right. Well, one last thing. Yesterday there was a meeting. There was a session about Google Meet, and there are actually already a lot of ways on how to access your Google Meet. And the usual way is to pick it from here, like this icon here. All right, from the nine dots, you pick it from here. But if you have a classroom, you can set your classroom to have an exclusive virtual meeting or Google Meet room exclusive for your students and you only. So I'll show you. I'll show you that. I'll go here. Okay, this is my email. I will be seeing start meeting and join meeting here. All right, this is another way on how to start a meeting or join a meeting. You open your email, you can have it here. Another way, if assuming that you have Google Classroom, you can have it enabled in the banner and in the class tab. All right, let me show you. I'm opening my other account here because I already set that up here. Oh, by the way, what you're seeing right now are the classes that I am monitoring because sciences they are always science class in these classes, so I go there with them. And another one, the one that you're seeing at the bottom here, is Singapore PJ Academy Discussion Board. This is a classroom that we created so we can have sharing of resources or forum or discussion about some issues with regards to the school. All right, you can also do the same thing as you create one classroom like that. All right, everything else you can just do this thing. For example, this one, year 10. This is for the year 10. You can do your own. In the case of our school, we only have one classroom for one class, and instead of the topics, we have the subjects. All right, like that. All right, like in this class, they are taking economics, physics, chemistry, biology, business, English, Chinese, additional mathematics, geography, and the syllabus D of mathematics also. So these are the subjects being taken by the students. That's why we have a lot of teachers here. Okay, all those teachers are all these people are those teachers teaching one of these subjects, and also department heads are here, and also the principal to do some monitoring. Okay, you might not want this kind of setup because maybe you don't want people to see your own work. It can only be happening like that. All right. Just to tell you some idea why we did this is because 4 months ago, when we started distance learning, not everyone knows how to use the Google Classroom, and we want to learn from each other. So every time a teacher posts something, the other teachers can see that also, so they can get some ideas on how to use it in their class. All right, some customization that can happen. So it's kind of like a way to imitate good practices also if you're going to do it like this. But anyway, this is not something that should be given to you guys as compulsory. This is just happening. This just happened because we feel it has to. For this incoming school year, we might do some modification of the arrangement. Maybe we can, now that we know how to do these things properly, we can just allow teachers now to create their own classes, like a class exclusive for economics, a class exclusive for physics. All right, so the people will just be the teacher itself or himself or herself, and maybe the department head and the principal. So not this one, that there are so many of us in one class monitoring the students, and also trying to look at some best practices being done or was done by other teachers. Okay, so yeah, I went back here because of the idea of Google Meet. All right, Google Meet, you can have an exclusive Google Meet room if you have a Google Classroom. You don't need to create classroom every time you want to. You don't need to create a Google Meet every time. Google Meet room every time you want to meet your student online. All right. You can just ask them to go to the Google Classroom and see for the Meet. See, look at the find the Google Meet icon. This one. This Google Meet icon here. When they click this, they will be navigated uh, to the assigned classroom for this class. All right, or the assigned room for virtual meeting for this class. This is the icon. All right, under classwork. All right, you can do that under classwork. And another way to do it, if they are in the stream page or tab, there will be an automatic link here. There will be an automatic link here. All right, they can just click this, or you have, if you don't, they don't want that, they can click this. They will be directed to that same room. Okay, so you see, your students will be there. Sometimes they will be waiting for you. They are like so excited, like several minutes before your class time, they're already there. Things like that. All right. Now, I want you to look at this one that we just created. All right. I'll just do this one, discard. I go to the class where I don't have the Google Meet icon here, meaning I don't have an exclusive room for virtual meeting or virtual conference with my students. While in this, there is one, all right? Now, I'll go to the stream page also. There is link here. And here, I don't have the link, okay, to the Google Meet. The reason for this is because either you don't have it or you haven't enabled it. Okay, like in order for it to be enabled, you click this one, this setting here, all right, this icon. Okay, you go back to this page again. You see, I'm using free account. I don't have it here. This feature is not available for Google accounts that are actually free, like this one that I'm using right now. But in your case, I am sure that one came from a G Suite spot by the DepEd. So you should be seeing something like this. And I click this, and I go down here. All right, you will be seeing this one. Okay, this one is not here. You see, it ends with show deleted items. Okay, here after the show deleted items, you have this part here. All right, you see, it is being enabled. All right, it is being enabled. That's why you have this and the Google Meet here. All right, you can do the same thing also, so it's not going to be uh, an activity that you've got to do every time you want to meet your students. There can be an exclusive room just for members of this class. Okay, so in this one, I'm telling you, we don't have. Okay, now if you are using your DepEd account and still, when you click this one, you cannot see it here under the show deleted items, then that means the administrator of the G Suite's account of DepEd didn't enable that. Maybe you can request the DepEd to enable it first. All right? Yeah, you've got to, if you want this thing, you've got to ask them to enable it first. All right? Okay, so all right, I'll show this now. I think those are the ones that you can benefit from, or those information that are basic, you know, for teachers like us need to know. And with those information, we are ready to do the classroom, setting our classroom online ourselves.
Okay, for the first part of our session with our resource speaker, Mr. Soid, while we need to take a 5-minute break, may we request for our participants to type in and the chat box their questions?
Ma'am
While
Jane,
the Yes po, sir.
can we ask the participants to join my class also that classroom that I just created right now. Anyway,
Yes po.
after this I will be deleting that one. All right,
Yes.
just for the sake of breakout session later, I need people to be in the classroom so I can demonstrate how to do that thing, which we do not have in Google Meet. That one that is built in with other platforms.
Yes
I'll
po,
be
that's
I'll be I'll be putting the code in the chat panel of this Google Meet, guys. If you have
ayan.
an account,
It's
free account, you
so you're
join.
going to make new or the same
No, no,
one?
that same one, man. Man.
Okay po. Yung pong OXRZ
Yeah,
RQ7.
I don't remember, man, but I don't
Ayan,
know if I showed.
pinost na po nila. Actually, a
Okay, okay.
while back, I want to join eh. Kaya lang, opo,
Oh
I
yeah,
want
yeah.
to join
Great,
your
great, great.
class. Okay po, meron pong nag-post dito ng
May
code.
tanong po. Ayun.
Ayun, OXRZRQ7, yun po ang classroom code. So if you want to join so that we can have a virtual interaction through the classroom of Sir Marvin, ay Sir,
Marlon po, Marlon.
Sir Marlon, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I have
Pwede po
some
tayong
video.
mag-join. Ay, invalid daw.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Can we not create a new, sir? Para lahat
Uh,
kami
we we
mag-join.
can create new, man, but I think it's gonna be okay. I'll just put it
Add
in again.
another,
This one.
add another class for us.
This one.
Sige po.
And
While we are having this conversation, sir, may we request our moderators to provide us the questions?
Yeah, sure, Miss.
ayun. Okay, ma'am. Good morning po, Ma'am Jane. Good morning po, Sir Marlon. So may question na po ditong isa, sir. Can we
Opo.
edit the Google Sheet directly from Ma'am Esmeralda Divina?
Kung sila po yung gumawa ng Google Sheet, they can do that. But if the Google Sheet is wait, she's referring to the Google Sheet that was downloaded from here, from the classroom, yes?
Yes, sir. Yung direct
Alright,
po
alright.
na edit agad online Google, sir.
I think they can because technically when they download that one, they are the automatic owner of it. Like this one, the one wait, I haven't I'm not sharing my screen right now, but they can try that later. Or maybe I can show that one after the break, Mister. When they download the grades in a Google Sheet, what they can do if they don't want to use the sheet, they can transfer this in Excel. I'm sure everyone in the DepEd right now are in the previous years they are already using Excel. If they are very comfortable with that, they can just copy the content of the Google Sheets and transfer it there, and then edit it themselves using Microsoft Excel. But
Okay, sir.
in the case of the question, they downloaded the sheets. They don't want to use Excel. They want to directly edit it from here. They can also do that because this is now their own file.
Okay, sir.
All right.
So there is another question here, sir, from Ma'am Luz de la Cruz. Is enabling that exclusive Google Meet in our Google class by SDO, or is it by the DepEd National?
Uh, yes, and I don't know po about your arrangement in the DepEd, but the idea is this. Usually the default is that the Meet in the Google Classroom is not enabled. That's the default one. If you want to have the same thing as the one that I showed, that the Meet is in the class tab and in the link is in the banner on the same page, you've got to ask your admin or the administrator assigned by DepEd to enable it for you before that option will appear. You see, I have 2 pages a while ago, one with the guru.uson@gmail.com. That's a free account. And my account in school right now. That's a G Suite account, like your DepEd account. In the free account,
So meaning to say, Sir Usoy, if it is a personal account, you can enable it. But if it is a G Suite account, by an organization, you cannot
No, ma'am.
enable
No,
it.
ma'am. If you have a free account, that one is not something for you. You don't have that kind of advantage or that kind of feature in classroom that you created using free account. Now, for
So wala siyang feature
opo,
na
wala po,
ganun.
wala po. For in your cases, in your case, ma'am, meron kayong DepEd. I am assuming that that one is the G Suites. So that one is possible. If you're
Meron
going
ata
to,
sir, may mga kanina po nag-comment na meron daw pong ganong features yung DepEd account po.
and that's good. That's good. That's good. So within you just enable that, and then the icon will be appearing at the lower portion of the class tab. You know the word classwork there. I'm sorry, the classwork tab. The Google Meet icon will be appearing there. That's the link, all right? And the link itself, the one in letters, will also appear in the banner at the stream tab. All right, that one will happen only if it is enabled in
Okay,
the
thank you,
setting.
sir. Sir, another question here from Sir Ruel Amparo. Will this platform work well with mobile phones?
Yes, yes, yes. It will work well with the mobile phones, but for in the case of mobile phones, you can do this using the mobile browser, like the one that we are having right now. We have your Chrome, Safari. If you have Google Chrome installed in your, usually it will be installed in Android, for example. You can have that in iOS also. You install the browser, you can access that like the one that you are seeing on my screen right now. Now, in the case of these devices, there is another alternative for that because they can download a standalone app in the Apple Store or Google Play Store. It worked well. It worked well.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, ayun po mga ma'am, sir, pwede pa pong magtanong. Just type po sa comment box po natin. Sir, may nagtatanong na po yung code daw po ng Google Classroom, sir.
All right. Yeah.
But if you log out now with your DepEd email and use your own can actually join in the classroom of Sir Yuson. But if you are using the DepEd email account, nagiging invalid siya.
Opo, yun po yung problema natin sa dito uli. Kasi kapag G Suites account po yung kinuha ninyo sa binili ng company sa Google, everything is the default. Ang default po kasi yung mga ganitong sitwasyon like collaboration tools, it is exclusive within the private domain that you purchase from the Google themselves. Now, for the free account, it's not. It's like how do I put it? Basically, look at this. The account that you have is at deped.org something. Is it?
At DepEd.
At deped.
.gov.ph.
Opo. Pero yan po ay tinatawag na domain. In
Yeah.
my case, spa solo.sch.id. Pero basically, this is also a domain because it doesn't show. But the thing is, it doesn't show anything or any link to the name Google because we decided it ourselves. Now, in the case of the free account, lahat po yan at gmail.com. So they belong to the same domain. So
Okay.
somehow, in the case of the default, this Gmail account, the free account, is kind of more powerful to invite people around.
Okay.
You can do the same thing also with the G Suite account like the DepEd or mine by asking the administrator to enable it. Right now, if I will be asked, I will be inviting your DepEd account to join my account right now. This demo account, the demo class that we are using. There's no way you can go in unless your administrator for your accounts in DepEd is online and can do the modifications. So what I'm suggesting,
Okay.
use your free account in order to join.
Okay po.
Yes po, they are joining now,
Thank
sir.
you. So there's
Uh,
another question here, sir. From
Yes.
Sir Luis Robert Season. Good day po. Can we apply a transmutation table for the grading tab in our Google Classroom? Thank you po.
Transmutation table.
Opo.
Uh, I don't think so, mister. I don't think so. Like, because you see, in the transmutation table, sometimes the distance between 7 to, what is it? 75 to 80, it's like there are some many scores in there. Let's say, how do I explain it? The transmutation table is something with several conditions. Like, for example, if your transmutation table is like 50 and below, it's gonna be E, and then
Yeah.
and then
That's true.
we have from 51 to 60 is gonna be D, things like that. So you see the interval is different. The E is covering 50 numbers, and while the next score is going to be a little bit the number it is covering only 10 numbers in there. Now, if that is the case, you just reprogram your Google Sheets. You just
Okay.
reprogram
Okay
your
po,
Google Sheets.
sir.
Another question,
Ayun
sir?
po, from Sir Marlon Cunanan. Pero pag DepEd account po ang ginamit para mag-create ng class, pwede pong mag-join ang mga naka-Gmail account po, di ba po?
Very good. Tama po yan. Sa case po ninyo, you use your DepEd account to make it like official. Now your kids, your students doesn't have any account from the DepEd, correct po ba?
Yes, sir.
Yes po.
So they will be using free account. That is possible. Your
Okay.
Google Classroom is created by your DepEd account, a G Suite account, then invite free accounts. That's fine. But the vice versa, all right? Like what is happening right now, I'm using free account, and if you're trying to get in using your DepEd account, you cannot. You can if the administrator will enable it.
Okay, sir. Thank you po. So,
And there's another question, sir,
so ayun
from Sir Roel Amparo. Ano pong apps ang ida-download ng mga learners sa mobile phone for the Google Classroom?
Oh, okay. Yung pong Google Classroom, yung pag nagpunta po sila sa Google Play Store or sa App Store, i-search lang po nila dun yung Google Classroom, and they will see the icon that I put in my presentation a while ago.
Yeah,
Yung
parang notebook.
kulay green,
Yeah.
yellow, the thing. They just click that one and then install it, and then the classroom will be there.
okay. So,
Okay.
another question po, sir, from Ma'am Leia Perez. Follow up po dun sa transmutation table. Can we just input formula in the Google Sheet or in the Google Classroom?
Sa Google Classroom po, ang pwede nating ma-manipulate doon is to, firstly, if you want to manipulate the percentages, only percentages, if you want to put the percentages there, you've got to click or set that to weighted average first. The one that I showed a while ago, it has to be set to weighted average, and then there will be another option that will appear at the bottom part that will be asking you what are the categories, and then for each category you define whatever category that is, and then you set a particular percentage for each of those categories, and that's the only thing that this Google Classroom will compute for you.
Okay, very well noted, sir.
Thank you po. So, from Ma'am Milagros, Ma'am Milagros, the students need Gmail account, sir, in entering Google Classroom.
Correct po. Tama po.
So, Gmail lang po talaga ang pwedeng maka-insert.
As far as I know, Gmail lang po talaga. Gmail lang po.
Kasi it's a feature of a Google. It's a feature of a Google browser. So dapat Gmail.
Pero there are some cases, Ma'am Jane, for example, in the Google Meet, if you're going to use an account, for example, your account in DepEd, you created the Google Meet, and you are invited somebody using a yahoo.com
Apo.
account or maybe live.com account or Microsoft account, they can still go in with your permission.
Requesting admission lang po. And you
Opo.
permitted
Pero
as an
in
admin.
Google Classroom, I'm not sure whether, because I haven't tried it, I haven't experienced it. I am not sure whether people from other company or from not from Google can join your account. Can join your classroom. Maybe
Okay.
maybe what we can do is to ask the students to just use Gmail.
Oh, that's nice. Kasi
Yes.
pwede naman po na
Opo.
mag-create na lang sila ng kanilang Google account. Okay, thank you very much. I think that will be all for the Q&A portion. And Sir Yusan, do you need to take 5 minutes break for
Can I have
yourself?
5 minutes? Can I have 5 minutes?
Yeah.
5 minutes break?
Kailangan mo rin mag-snacks.
Yeah. Call, call,
And
call of nature. Call of nature.
okay po, okay po. Sige po.
Five
Thank
minutes.
you very much.
Thank you,
Okay
sir.
po. Okay, sir. Ano kasi pangalan ni sir?
Oreo
Nawala.
po, ma'am, or King Mark po.
Okay. See, sir, anything that you'd like to inform our participants while we are waiting for the 5-minute break of our resources speaker?
Wala naman po, ma'am. Siguro po, mag-in na po tayo dun sa sinasabing ano po, ma'am,
Ayan,
yung
okay. That's
code ni
a
sir.
good.
Mag-in na po
Oo.
tayo sa klase ni sir. Pero gamamit kayo na dapat po tayo ng ibang account po sana. Kasi
Okay,
parang
aside
yung
from the DepED account,
opo,
okay? Use your personal account or
personal
a Gmail account. Okay, alam ko po meron tayong dalawang accounts. One for our personal account and one for the DepED account po. So please join the Google Classroom. We have typed in the chat box the password in order for you to enter the classroom. So sana po lahat tayo mag-participate.
ayun.
Yan, sabi ni Ma'am Irene, naka-in na po sa Google Classroom. By the way, Sir Oreo, please plug
Yes,
in yung ating FB Live.
Sige po, ma'am. Sana yung tag.
Yan.
Ma'am Jane,
Ayan. So,
Ma'am Jane,
Yes po.
good
Yes, Sir
morning.
Nestor.
Mamayang hapon kasi ang gagamitin natin ay Zoom, no? Yung link nandun. Pero before that, bago sila makapasok, they have to sign, no? Or
Okay.
meron silang pipil upan muna, no? Attendance, parang attendance yun.
Our registration, Sir Nestor.
Using Google Forms.
Okay, Sir Sunny, or Sir Nestor, if you have the registration link, can you please input it in our chat box so our participants will be guided properly?
Okay, Ma'am Jane. So I have a message here in our chat box. So kindly register again and again for the Matinic webinar scheduled this afternoon from 1 to 5 p.m. through the link provided. So after the registration, you will receive an email with the Zoom link and details. So meaning, Ma'am Jane, kailangan makapag-register lahat kasi kung hindi, wala silang marireceive na link, hindi sila makakapasok sa ating afternoon session.
Okay, so again, we repeat po, you have to register for the Matinic webinar scheduled this afternoon at 1 o'clock to 5 p.m. But we highly recommend that you have to register with the link provided there in your chat box po. Makikita niyo po yung message ni Sir Sonny De Leon. Yung link, dapat po makaregister na po tayo ngayon so that we shall receive the email of the Zoom link and other details. Ulitin ko po, kindly register right now while we are waiting for our resource speaker. Please go visit now this link and then register. Okay po?
Ayun po, ma'am. So sabi po ng iba nakapag-register na daw po sila pero wala pa daw po yung Zoom link.
Okay.
Excited po ata, sir.
Bali, Sir Sunny, sino po ba ang
send ng link?
Ang ating pong resources speaker?
Okay. So ang resource speaker natin mamayang hapon was of course, yung ating founder ng Matinic Online, si Dr. Ike Prudente. So sige, papalo up ako sa kanya.
Ma'am Jane, I think we need
Please, Sir Sunny, sino po ba ang
Mag-host.
ang ating pong okay. So, ang resource speaker
Okay.
natin was of course, yung ating founder ng Matinik Online, si Dr. Ike Prudente. So, sige, papalo up ako sa kanya.
Okay, I think we
Yes.
Okay. Sino po ba ang mag-host? Ang ating pong okay. Ang resource speaker natin was of course, yung ating founder ng Matinik Online, si Dr. Ike Prudente. So, sige, papalo up ako sa kanya.
Okay, I think we need
Hi there. May we just remind po for us to mute our microphone.
yes.
Okay. Okay. Of course, yung ating founder ng Matinik Online, si Dr. Ike Prudente. So, sige, papalo up ako sa kanya.
Paki-request lang po to mute our microphone.
Okay na, Ma'am Jane, muted na.
Okay po.
Yeah, yan ma'am. Keep reminding them about our house rule, ma'am. No, kasi maraming naka-open. And even yung ano nila, yung display
Camera.
naka-display sila lahat yan eh. So pwede nilang i-off, no?
Opo, nire-remind din po natin, i-off na lang po natin ang ating mga camera kasi meron tayong mga nakita po na walang damit sa pang-itaas. So please po, i-off na lang po natin ang camera natin. We are going live at FB po.
Yeah,
And this
nationwide yan.
Opo, this is an educational session, webinar session, worldwide po. Yeah, kanina po sa live stream nakita ko, watching from Katipunan, watching from Manila, may nakita po ako sa FB Live. So, hindi lang po tayo Region 3.
Nakuha yung pangalan eh.
Hindi lang po tayo Region 3 coverage. It's nationwide dahil sa FB Live.
Worldwide yan.
Worldwide
courtesy of Sir Melwin, the IT of DepED Kabanatuan. Thank you very much for assisting us. Nasa ano po tayo, nasa national viewing po tayo. So please po, magdamit po tayo. And kung ayaw nyo magdamit, i-turn off na lang po yung camera.
Keep reminding them, Ma'am Jane.
Sir Nestor.
Keep reminding them. Kasi may kumakain dyan, nakikita namin.
Meron din po kanina, Sir, nakahubad eh.
I-off nyo lang.
Gusto ma-discover.
Yung camera. Listen through with your, itong mic ninyo. Naka-off lang yan. Naririnig naman natin eh. Okay.
Sir Nestor, just to remind everyone po, do not just simply register po sa link na binigay ko kanina. Baka wala silang naka-install na Zoom apps. So, baliwala po yung registration natin kung wala tayong Zoom application sa device natin ginagamit, no? So, that's a simple reminder po. Yes, Sir Nestor.
Actually po, hindi lang tayo national. Meron pong nanonood from Malaysia.
Si Sir.
From Bahrain.
That's correct.
Malaysia and Bahrain. And dito sabi ni Sir Ryan, yung kanya daw Quezon City professor sa Adamson nanonood sa FB. Yan. So talagang sumisikat na ang webinar session na initiated po ni Sir Nestor Nuestra.
You know what, Ma'am Jane, yesterday,
Actually, kanina umaga, Ma'am Jane, is tumawag yung counterpart natin sa central office. No? So, bibigyan sana natin siya ng time. Okay, so
I think ready na si Sir Quezon. Are you ready now? Our very expert, Sir Marlon Uzon. Ready na po ba tayo?
Yes po.
Okay, so can we turn back, the spotlight to our resource speaker, Sir Marlon Uzon.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes po,
Yes.
loud and clear.
Okay. Good. I'll just be sharing my screen.
Sir Sunny, can you pin his screen, please?
Ayan, okay na, Ma'am Jane? Nakapin na?
Hindi
Opo,
pa
sir.
eh.
Kita po, sir.
Kita
Oo
na
nga.
daw, kita na.
Okay na, late lang ang reaction nung sa akin.
Alright, so thank you.
All right. So, in the case of the Google Classroom, I'll be going there later because this one. I'm looking at it right now, and there's so many students around here. Almost around 200, I think. Okay, I'll go with this one again later for some what is that workaround when you want to have some breakout sessions or split sessions. If you, for example, you have 50 students in your class and you have prepared work that requires brainstorming or maybe like a group work that we usually do inside our classroom. Maybe you want them to be grouped into 5. So we can do that using the Google Classroom. I'm going to show you that, but I want it to be done like two birds in a shot. Like I will be doing that with the Google Forms, my new topic, all right, integrated in it. All right, so we just do that a little bit later when I'm done with the Google Forms. All right, so let me go back to my presentation. As you can see, this is the icon. If you want to open the Google form in your browser, you just need to find this icon here. All right, this is the purple icon here. All right, it looks similar to the icon of slides, sheets, and docs. What we have here in the form is that they have this 3 dots and 3 lines also. Okay, so that's the idea. You just need to go there, and just like what I was saying, this can be used for worksheets. It can be structured so that you will be having an online quiz, or maybe an exit pass, or something that we do, we give to the students before they can leave our class. All right, another one is the survey. Like in some subjects, for example, statistics, if you're teaching statistics, you might want to do a survey to people, like send them the Google Forms and ask them questions. And then after that, Google Form will return some data to you for your analysis, maybe like a research work, or those kind of things, like the when you're teaching Google, no, not the mean median modes, things like that in statistics. This is a very good application that you can use to gather data while you don't need to leave your houses. It can be done online. Now, another thing is the escape room, which I will be focusing more later, because this Google form is kind of simple, and I'm sure there may be some of you who will find this portion of my webinar or my part of the webinar to be a little bit boring, because I will be going to the basic, and then I will be trying to give you some suggestions which you can criticize, constructively criticize, so that it will fit whatever scenario you have in Philippine schools. So one thing that I came up with is the escape room, and also there's a possibility that you can do that in creating an online module. And I will tell you how later. There are some work around on this one. It's not a direct template from the Google Forms, but you can modify it a bit to suit whatever purpose we have. like if you want escape room or a module or an exit pass or a quiz or worksheets. Even experiment in science subjects can be done using Google Forms as well. All right, so that's it. That's for the things that you should know before we go further. So I have here this one. I am in a browser. Just don't mind whatever is what you see in your browser right now. Right now it's a teachers and students right here. But the reason why I move here is because I want to go again here. All right. So you see avatar. I am logged in my browser, which is Chrome. All right. I recommend Chrome because Chrome is also a Google product. If you want to use Google Apps, and you better use Google Chrome so there will be no issue on compatibility. So yeah, so I'm logged into Chrome, and then I have the 9 dots here again. These 9 dots is the one or the icon that for Google Apps, when you click it, all the available Google Apps will be shown to you. Now we are going to look at the Google Forms here. Now, as you can see, I don't have it. It's not listed in this. It's not available here in the pull down menu when I click the 9 dots icon. So if this is the case, if you are having this same thing when you open your browser, you just open another one like that, and then you just type in forms.google.com like this one. All right. Forms.google.com. Just in case you cannot find the icon in the 9 dots here. All right, forms.google.com, and then when you press enter, it should be here. All right, it should be here, blank. Supposedly, it's supposedly blank. All right, there's nothing like this. But in my case, I have already done few forms, so you can see those things that I have already done here. Okay. Now let's go to the basic. Actually, there are some templates here. Like if you want your form to gather contact information, RSVP or party, T-shirt design, event registration, and also if you click that part, you will be seeing other templates. Okay, these are the other templates that you can use. You just click on whatever you want, and then edit that one right directly from your browser. All right, so you have it here. But in our case here, what we are going to do is to start from scratch. Right, we are going to click blank, so that it's going to be easier for you to see the things that we can do with this application from Google. So as you can see, this is the one that you will be seeing first, right after you click the plus or you create a form using the from the page that I showed you a while ago. The default name for the form is this one, untitled form. Actually, it's kind of the same for all Google apps. When you create something, the default file name is untitled, or untitled form, untitled sheets, untitled slide, things like that. So maybe you can change the file name by clicking this, and then maybe you can just type in there whatever file name you want. All right. Now this one, if you type in your file name there, this will automatically copy that. But you can also change this. It can be something that is related to your test or survey. Maybe what you can do here is like topical test, like that. All right. You click this, that won't be changed. But if you click this, just like what a while ago, this one will be changed. All right. Now, but when you're going to do it now, it won't happen anymore. All right. So you see other things here that you are most likely be clicking later is this one. If you have a topical test, and then you can just describe it there. All right, or you can give some instructions to your students, like, okay, everyone, you answer. For boys, you answer the first, second, and third. For girls, you answer fourth, fifth, and sixth, things like that. Or any other kind of instructions from you for your students. All right. In this template, or the first template that you will see, is that you have one section. This is called a section, and this one is a question. All right. This is an automatic thing. You can actually delete this if you don't like it, or maybe you can duplicate it, or you can add something. All right. Now, in adding something, you can just click this one. These are the things that you can add. If you are going to look at it, these are the things that you can add. All right. So maybe one question that we can put here is, what is the question? All right, that's our question. What is the question? For the first option, maybe we can just say option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4. Okay, so that's the idea. You have created your first question here. What you can do is to add more questions. It depends on what your plan is. All right, you can add more questions using this, all right, this icon here. And then you can also, if you have done some forms before, you can also import some questions using this second icon here. All right, and then you can also add some text, like for example, additional instruction. I'll go here. By the way, you've got to highlight that element where you are going to add from. For example, if I was here and then I add something, it will be added below it. All right, I'll delete that. Right, I'll delete that one. Hold on, I have a lot. All right, now for this one, if you are going to add something here, if you're going to add something below the topical test, like for example, another instruction like text, like this one, you click this and it will be added here. So you see, you click the element first, and then when you want to add something, that something that you want to be added will be positioned below that element that you click. All right, like this one. I click this, and then I click the add text here, so that the added title. I mean, not text. Added title is positioned directly below it. All right, so that's how it is. So another thing that you should be aware of also, there are many. Yeah, I see you have again. 3 dots here for Google applications and all. Whenever you see 3 dots arranged vertically like this one, this means more actions. You can have more actions here also. All right, show description like that. This is the additional action that you can have. It is tick, meaning you can see it from here. All right, this is the thing. This is the one. If you want that to disappear, then untick that one so it's gone. All right, so that's the additional answer that we have. You can also delete. All right. You can also duplicate. Okay. If you want to do something like a form that is your question shouldn't be skipped by your respondents, you click require. Okay. Okay. And another thing, each of these questions will be having other actions here. Okay. You just need to. I'll discuss more on this later. And then. You have here delete. You don't want the question, delete it. If you want to duplicate it, click this one. So that's pretty it. Oh, no. Actually, this one also. I have here multiple choice. And the question is structured like this. We have options. But not all questions are multiple choice questions. So Google Form already gave us some options here, like if you want to give a short answer question to your kids, then pick this one. If it's a paragraph, pick this one. If it's a multiple choice, just like this, this one has to be picked. Check boxes, drop down. Students can even submit a file. All right, like say for example, or maths. I want you to videotape yourself deriving this Cartesian what is that? Pythagorean theorem, things like that. And then they will be doing it, and then whatever their output is, they will be uploading that to the Google form. That is also possible using this. And then we have linear scale. Like for example, you have some questions that rate something. I'll show you an example later. All right, and then you have here multiple choice grid and checkbox grid also, and date also. You can ask some questions about date, and same goes to the time. So all these things are the possible questions. These are the only options that we have. If your type of question is not among here, it's either you rewrite your question or somehow modify it. All right. So this is like a built-in type of question that we can select whenever we use form for, for survey, questionnaire, or worksheets or quiz that we have. Okay, so that's the thing about this content, and you have several icons here also. All right, like the setting. You have. I'll discuss more about the setting a while ago. This one later. Oh, this one is a preview. If you click this one, you will be given a preview. How the what is this? How the form will look like to your students. All right, just click preview. You can also click this icon here to somehow customize your theme. That if you want to choose, if you want to put an image, so right now you cannot see anything on top of the word topical test, but you can put like a banner like image there. All right, that represents your quiz. Maybe you can put like a plus sign, minus sign, things like that, or you can put your picture there or your class picture there to make them a little bit engaged. All right, because they can see their faces on the screen. All right, you can use that by changing the header. This one right now I don't have any header. All right, okay, just click this one, and then you can also change the colors and the background as well, and you can also change the font style. So those are the options that we have for the theme of this Google form. Okay, another thing, you can send it. So you can send it using this to some other people that you want this to be taken. Or in our case here, I will be distributing the Google Forms that I already created prior to this because I want it to be like a little bit faster. If I'll be creating it directly from here, it's gonna be the lagging time. It's gonna be time consuming. So I already created a lot for you. I think I created 3 to be shared to everyone later. So that's it. So those are the main idea that you can that you are supposed to know if you want to successfully create a form. All right. And one more thing. I'm sorry. This folder icon here is when you have a response already. You can click this, and you will see a lot of. It's a compilation of responses. Okay, for that one. And sometimes I usually don't use this because anyway, what I need are always written here. Okay, a while ago I was in the question tab for editing my question itself. Right now, I click response. So if somebody already did my form, the summary will be here. All right, those and other several informations that will be very beneficial to you as teacher. Later, I will be showing you that. We don't have it here right now because no one is taking this question yet. All right. Okay, I'll show you one here again. I'll go find my forms. It's the forms. Okay, this is my G Suites account, the school one. All right, so I have here a lot of forms already because these are the ones that I created in the past 4 months for my students. And also I have here for the teachers. This is one of the first forms that I created with this account because I wanted to know what were the levels of teachers when it comes to distance learning, those skills that are necessary for them to implement distance learning or online learning. So we did a survey. I created the form, and then I asked everyone to answer it. Like these ones, these are the questions here. It's kind of a survey, all right? And then after teachers responded, so you see you have 36 respondents in here, I have the summary automatically. So I will be given a pie graph around here for the teachers, every department. And for one question here, rate your thing, your skill. These are the graph. For PowerPoint, most of them are very good already. And for Word, most of them are like, I think very good and satisfactory or just the same, things like that. So you will be having some automatically generated result when you do a survey like this, okay? My suggestion is that this is going to be a very good thing for statistics teachers and maybe some other topics also. You just need to do some, I know a lot of DepEd teachers in the Philippines, or everyone are actually very creative on this. These are the things that the form can do to us. If you want something more, a little better than this, then you can do some. You can use your creativity and restructure the way you ask questions a little bit more. So this is it. Okay. These are the responses. You've got the summary. These ones. All right. Now I don't have any scores for the students here, because this is not set as a quiz. This is a survey. I just want to know what they are thinking or what they feel they have before we did the distance learning. And another thing here, another important thing here is this one, the question. You can analyze their responses per question. Okay, you will be seeing it here. And this another tab here, it says here individual. You can see the responses every person. Every person can, for example, in this case, I did the survey myself. I want to see this one. Then her responses will be that. You can see the responses per student, and also you can see responses in a summarized form. All right, and also you can see responses per question, all right, per student, and summary here. All right, if this one is good enough for me, is in my experience, this one is good enough for me. So I seldom create a copy in Excel. All right, but if some of you want to do further analysis, that let's say, for example, you want to determine the median standard deviation for that particular survey, then you can download the data using this icon here. You see, it looks like Google Sheets, all right, or Excel, all right, this green thingy. If you click this, all those information that you have or put in by those respondents will be saved in the Google Sheets for your further analysis. Like the basic statistical analysis are already shown to you. But if you do want to do more, all right, thank you. Hold on. I'm sorry, my battery is slow. I've got to put it in. All right, there you go. So I was saying, you can, I told you the responses or those things that are provided for to me whenever I use form is enough for me. But if you have a different activity that you require your students, or you wanted to do it yourself, and you want to go a little bit higher, like finding those statistics, what is that? In some other parameters that you want, then you can download it as Google Sheet. And the way to do that is to click this icon. And the one that you downloaded will be automatically saved in your Google Drive. And because you are the one who downloaded this, you can now directly modify it. and no other people can modify it also. Even this one is in the cloud. Some other people cannot modify it also unless you allow them to modify it. All right. If you're working on a survey or some study on something with some of your teachers or co-teachers, then you can share it to them like here. All right. You just type in their emails there so that you can work together. You can work together online. All right, you type in their email or you give them the link, then you can type in everything. You can do modification all at the same time. This is something that you cannot do with your Excel. Excel is just you and the Excel all the time. Now, in our case, when you are going to choose to use the Google Sheets, a counterpart of Microsoft Excel, what this one offers us is that a lot of people can do that all at the same time. All right, and it's a good tool for collaboration. I will be focusing on collaboration later. I think I still have some time. It's almost 11, so I've got to speed this up. I'll just show you things. Maybe uh, I change my plan? I will be putting something here in the Google Classroom. I'm not in the Google Classroom right now. In the Google Classroom, I'll be putting here some of those things that I created using Google Forms, and I'll be giving you like 5 minutes to experience the form yourself, and then I'll go back online after that, and then I'll discuss it directly using the forms. I've already created it. I only have 1 hour left. I'm sorry. I prepared a lot. I I have Jamboard and some workaround for docs, slides, and some other things. Let me speed this up. All right. I'll post something here so people that join this class. I'm not doing the breakaway group for now, but I'll show you, yeah, how to do that. Okay, forms exploration. All right, exploration. Right. I don't need that. I'll be adding Google Forms here for you to explore. Okay. What do I have here? My drive. I have 3. This one. And where's the other one? All right, so I have attached my form here. What you will do later, guys, is to just click this and then look at the form. Please answer it also, so I have something to discuss later when I come back. Same with this one, and same with this one. And then while you are doing that, you may also type in some of the question in the chat box. Or if you're watching, for those people, because I did this one, I did this online too. I am live streaming in my Facebook channel. There are some people watching this simultaneously with other live sessions that we have, and this one. Maybe if you are interested to see that in later times, because this Google Classroom will be deleted later, you may want to go and visit this thing in the YouTube. All right. If you're looking at this in the YouTube in my channel, these forms are in the descriptions. In the descriptions. Okay. If it's not there, I will be going there later when I declare like a 5 minutes break for you guys to explore this thing. All right. So as I was saying, I can create a post. I can create a post here. Let's say group 1. As you can see here, it's set to all students. But if you want this to be done in groups, I can show you how by clicking this. The first thing is to click this, and then it is automatically all students. But if you want this to be going only or notify only those people in group one, then you just untick this and then select the names of those people who belong to group one. And then what you are going to do, set if you want a deadline category, if you are going to assume, if you plan to put this directly to the criteria, all right, and then how many points you are going to assign for this kind of classwork, the due date and topic. All right, we have two topics here, just like what I presented a while ago. You can create more if you want. And in the case of English teachers, Bahasa teachers, or any other language teachers, or even in science and maths, in other subjects, you can also use rubrics. There's a built-in rubrics generating mechanism in this Google Classroom. We just click this one, and the rubrics you can create your rubrics there directly yourself. But in this case, I'm not going to do that. I'll leave that for you to explore. What I will do, you see, it's 5 students. I'm saying this is for group 1, for example. Then send or assign. Then you click this again. You create another post and then pick the other 5 students. Then assign again. So depending on the number of groups you have. But for now, I will be doing it all for all. All right. So everyone will be receiving it. Now, in the case of those who are doing it in the watching this in YouTube, I will put the link under the comment box where you can find the Google form if you want to participate. All right, Miss Jane and Mr. Sunny.
Yes, sir.
I'm thinking of having a 5-minute break so our participants can explore my files, so they get to see what forms can do for us. And then I'll
It's
be
okay,
back
sir.
in 5 minutes.
It's okay,
Okay.
sir.
Yes po.
Ayun po. Ayun po mga ma'am sir, paki-explore na po yung mga naka-enroll po dun sa Google Class kanina. Yung mga forms po na pinost ni sir. Ayun
Yung
po.
pong
Tapos yung iba po, pwede rin pong mag-post na ng questions dito sa comment box lang po. Ayun po, may link po dito sa comment box si sir, galing kay sir, no? Yung mga gusto pong panoorin yung video, yung kanina pong tinuro, na-upload na po ata ni sir sa YouTube. So yung link po nasa comment box po, mga ma'am sir. Para masave po natin yung link para mamaya may babalikan po tayong video kung gusto nating may maklarify sa mga lessons kanina. Ayun po, reminders lang po mga ma'am sir, no? Kasi live po tayo sa FB, yung iba po nakikita talaga yung mga ano po, mga situation, mga sa kanilang mga lugar kanina, kitang-kita po tayo, paki-turn off daw po, sabi po ni Sir Nesca kanina. So kung pwede po paki-turn off po ang ating mga camera. Kasi yung mga iba kitang-kita rin po na maalis sa harap ng kanilang computer. Yung iba po ay may daan, nakahubad sa likod nila, mga ganun po. So sa Facebook po kasi nakikita ko rin po eh. Kamusta po kaya si ma'am na nag-nosebleed kanina? Tumigil kaya yung pagdudugo ng ilong?
Literal ba yun, sir, na talaga na nosebleed or na nosebleed lang dahil sa topic natin?
Parang
What do
real
you think?
ata, sir. Kasi parang
Totoo
mainit.
ba?
Opo, mainit siguro sa kanilang area, sir.
O
Ah,
Kaya,
lalaki daw po siya, hindi siya ma'am. Sir daw po siya, sir.
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 Sorry
The
po.
first aid na daw. Thank you po kay ma'am kay Ma'am Jan Leslie. Ma'am Jan Leslie, thank you so much for the update.
Okay, sige. Kala ko na nosebleed dahil sa topic eh.
Parang ako ang nano-nosebleed sa topic.
Overload po ba? Information
Sorry
overload ulit.
din, Sir John Leslie pala. Sorry. Ayan. Alam mo kasi yung mga names natin ngayon, pwede siyang, babae, pwede siyang lalaki. Okay.
Ma'am Jean,
Okay.
remind na rin natin sila mamaya for the afternoon session na hindi kasi katulad dito sa Google Link, sa Google Meet na i-edit yung name sa Zoom. So mamaya siguro para mas specific no yung dating nung name natin, i-edit natin siya by having our name and then after that underscore tsaka yung division kung saan tayong division, di ba? Para mas okay at mas makikilala natin ang bawat isa.
So which comes first, division and then name or name and then division?
I think name first and then after division.
Okay, thank you so much. Again po, sabi po ng ating Sir Moderator, Sir Sonny, this afternoon for the Zoom platform po, may we request our participants to rename using your full name and then po your division for proper identification. Again po, in our Zoom platform this afternoon, please, when you log in, rename your profile into your full name and then your division. Copy po, sabi niya. Ma'am Joy ba to o Sir Joy? Ma'am Joy, thank you very much. Napaka-interesting ng topic natin, di ba, Sir Oreo? Nasusundan mo ba lahat? Nawala na si Sir Oreo. Sir Sally, ikaw, what do you think?
Question mo? Nawala ako.
Nawala ka nga. Sabi ko, napaka-interesting ng topic. Nasusundan mo ba lahat?
Oh, yes. Kasi ngayon, hindi lang para sa atin tong mga teachers, di ba? Kundi para sa ating mga students. So, facing the new normal situation come August 24, talagang ready na ang ating mga math teachers, not only here in Region 3, but nationwide. Kasi naka-live streaming nga tayo sa FB. Ang daming nanonood. Kahapon, parang chinek ko yung viewers natin, nasa 4,000 plus.
Wow!
Late pa yun ha, late pa tayo
Awesome.
nagkapag FB live.
Correct. Ako nga, I'm using Google Classroom when I teach in the graduate studies. Pero yung ibang features ngayon ko lang na-encounter.
The same with me. Parang yung basic lang ng Google Classroom ang explore ko. So yung iba, yun, magagamit na natin, Ma'am Jean.
Thank you to Sir Uson for introducing us with these different features of the Google Classroom. Yung mga Google Forms na yan, hindi ko yan navigate eh.
Sagot lang tayo ng sagot, pero hindi tayo nag-produce na sarili nating forms.
Ulitin ko po ha, complete ang mga participants from Division of Zambales. Kanina pong nag-roll call po tayo. Nagkaroon lang ng internet connection difficulty si Ma'am Rochelle De Viva, the Education Program Supervisor. Meron tayong mga kolorum dito. Papatawarin niyo po ako. Dami-dami namin taga Pampanga. Kaya umabot tayo ng 229. Sir Dagami also is here. Thank you so much.
So nagulat nga ako kasi nag-message sa akin si Sir Ike ngayon lang, no? So sabi niya, sir, nasa 280 plus na ang nag-register. So ibig sabihin, ang dami nating mga excess.
Oo. Yeah, correct. Pero siguro naman we can accommodate them kasi hanggang ilan naman ang Zoom. Diba?
Actually, sa Zoom, kapag free lang yung ating ginagamit na apps, di ba sabi kahapon ni Sir Montoya, parang nasa 100 lang
Oo.
ang capacity, ang maximum number of participants. Pero fortunately, no, parang
Ano naman si Sir
premium
Ike,
si
diba?
Sir Ike,
Premium si Sir
parang
Ike.
up to 500
Kaya naman.
participants yung kaya
Correct.
niyang i-accommodate.
Opo. Depende sa admin, ano.
By the way, baka nagtataka sila kasi sa ating memo, ang nakalagay na apps na gagamitin natin is just Google Meet, ano? So nagkaroon kasi ng problem yung ating speaker, si Sir Ike. So sabi niya, napakahirap daw sa part niya na mag-present kasi iba talaga, no, yung presentation na mangyayari mamaya as compared dun sa ating first 3 presentations. So that's why nag-decide siya na Zoom ang kanyang gagamitin.
And I think sa Math Vedic kasi you need really to have a whiteboard, di ba? Tama
Yeah.
ako.
So that's the main reason actually, no, yung board, yung whiteboard na gagamitin niya. So parang mas madali niya daw, o mas gamay niya, no, yung sa Zoom app kaysa yung sa Google Meet.
Okay. So, si Sir Aiko is very, very expert in terms of Math Vedic. Last year po, we invited him as a resource speaker as well sa aming training ng Math Vedic sa Pampanga. And I believe also sa Cabanatuan, galing na rin siya, no, Sir Sunny? So,
Yes, that's correct, Ma'am Jane.
please stay tuned kasi ang dami niyo pong matututunan sa Math Clinic.
Yeah, at right now alam ko ongoing yung Math Vedic online classes, no. Napakadaming mga scholars natin na na-produce from Region 3. Kaya nagpapasalamat tayo kay Sir Ike kasi talagang free, no, yung kanyang talent fee for this afternoon session. Siyempre, the same rin, no, with other speakers. parang nireveal ko na, Ma'am Jane, sorry.
Nagpaparinig.
Pero mamaya for sure, ano, magiging interesado sila kasi kakaiba talaga, no. Sabi nga kahapon ni Ma'am Rubio during her welcome or reading of statement of purpose, parang bago sa kanya, no, bago sa kanya yung term na Math Vedic.
Okay. I think Sir Usan is ready. Sir Marlon,
yes.
Okay na po ba tayo? Sir Marlon, okay na po?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Sir Marlon, take it away.
All right, thanks.
Sir Marlon, kanina nag-uusap kami, talagang bago sa amin yung mga ibang pinapakita mo, ha? Napakaganda po ng sharing nyo na to. It's very interesting and parang ayaw mong mag-CR sa mga information.
I prepared a lot, but it looks like I cannot finish everything. I only have 1 hour left. But if some of our participants still wants to proceed, I prepared something. I think I can just jump to the simple apps that we can do some work around later directly. Something that will benefit most of them during in the conduct of this online training. So yeah, can you see my screen right now?
Yes, pa.
All right. The one that you are seeing is one of those one of those forms that I attached in the Google Classroom in my post. And also, this is the same for those people who are doing it in YouTube. You can the links are in the description part of the Bawal Lumabas video that I created. I think it's in there. There are three Google Forms there. One is this, and this one is the escape room, and this one is the type of questions. I created this because I wanted to show you how this question will look like in the students' end from the students' end. So basically, I did the questions in the Google form, the normal one that the same as the normal one as the one that I presented a while ago before I declare some break. It was done like this. I set it like a quiz, when the first thing that the students can do is to type in their email, like whatever they email have, whatever that email is. Right. By the way, guys, your students can type any email somewhere here, so you've got to consider that in planning your lesson also. I'm suggesting you share your forms, like if it's a quiz, to inside the Google Classroom, because in the if it's inside the Google Classroom, their emails will be automatically extracted and placed here. So there's no chance that they can give some pseudo or fake email address. So that's the idea. This won't this cannot be submitted unless the email address is entered. This is required. I made it required, so the email address is in there. So this one is a sample email address. And this first question here is a short answer question. So like that, what do we call the longest side of a right triangle? So they are going to put it in there. And I set this one so that the form can check it for me. All right, like hypotenuse, I made some other options, like I typed the word hypotenuse in the answer key using lower cases of the letters. And I think capital letters also is another option that they can put. And the first letter is capital and all. If they write the answer like this is the problem with the Google form. When it comes to automatic marking, it is a GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. Whatever you program them to do, that's the one that they will do exactly. So if the answer is really hypotenuse like that, this one is going to be automatically corrected, because I defined that one as the correct answer. If this one is capital letter, and this one will be, I think I use this one as another correct answer option. If this one was the one typed by your student, it will be automatically corrected also. But if you have this and then they accidentally make this capital E, this will be answered wrong. So that's the idea. You garbage in, garbage out. You've got to program this one, and don't worry. That one is only something that is very difficult to do when you are setting a short answer question, or even this. This one is an example of paragraph kind of question where they can type a very long answer. And for this one, this is an MCQ, multiple choice. So this is gonna be easy. All right, you can just define which among the option is the correct answer, and then the Google form will directly do the marking or checking for you. All right. Google form can speed that up for you. All right, for this thing, it's gonna be very hard to do automatic marking, because the students are expected to type exactly what you defined as the correct answer. All right, maybe I put that one there because this one is not the same as what I typed. This will be marked wrong. Okay, so I'll give you something about that later, all right, in the setting of the exam, all right? I'll tell you about that, what I usually do whenever I have this kind of questions in my class. Okay, I won't set the Google form to mark it, so I'll do the manual marking. If I have a mixed type of, I have a form with with questions that are in different, using different types, then I would set the MCQs and all to automatic marking, but the others are not. I will still need to do some manual marking myself. All right, so this is MCQ, and this one is a tick box, all right, which is equal to 5, like that. Then you can just tick this, all right? You can just tick that one. Oh, by the way, the difference between an MCQ or multiple choice in a tick box like this, in the MCQ, there's only one, usually there's only one correct answer. And for the tick box, you can make a question such that they can pick two among those boxes, or three, or even all. So that's another difference. And also, I created here a question that is called pull down. All right, this one. It's like an MCQ also, but instead of taking these ones, the students just need to choose among the ones that you define. All right, like that. Okay, like that. Okay, this is what I was saying a while ago. Students also can upload something. Like, for example, in Google Classroom, you ask them to do something, and then, for example, create a video, or do this thing, solve this in a piece of paper, take a photo, and upload that image here. So you can see the process, not just the correct answer. You can use this one, this kind of this option in the Google form to do things like that. All right, take a photo, create a video, do something in Google form, or even Microsoft Word, and upload the file directly to this question as a response. All right, another thing, you can also create a question like this: rate your skills in using calculator. All right, like that. You can define the end and the two ends, this one and the right end here, and then there are some numbers in between where they can rate where they are. All right, this is likely something that can be very advantageous to those people who are doing surveys. Okay, another thing. This one is a modified multiple choice. It's just that, you see, for example, this one, I have three figures or diagrams here. And here it says triangle one. What kind of triangle is it? Equilateral, scalene, or isosceles? They got to pick one. Okay, for example, that one. Now, the second triangle, they've got to pick the same, one only. All right, for another triangle, they've got to pick another one also. All right, so it's like MCQ, but with some additional rows, or multiple choice with some additional rows. All right, we just need to see what do you really want to happen in your assessment, and Google Forms is actually offering you a lot of choices. Okay, another one here. You see this one, it's like an MCQ but many rows. This one is like a checkbox with many rows also. So somehow this Google Forms has a modification of our normal multiple choice question and checkbox kind of question. They have this thing. All right. I remember there are some studies that are using two tires. This actually something qualifies as a two-tier type of question. They've got to respond several times in one particular question. Okay, so here I assume that everyone saw my question already, and I know you have responded already. I got your number 2, 3, and 5, and this number is 7. Which among these numbers can be combined to give you 7? This one is an example. All right, 2 and 5 when added equals to 7. Things like that. For -2, the one that we have to combine is 3 and 5. So 3 minus 5 is going to -2. Things like that. You can do your questions like this in your class. All right, I'll skip that one. The last two here for teachers, sciences, maybe history, where they recognize the importance of somehow recognize those icons, including the dates that these things happens. All right, they can use this kind of question, asking students to input the date. Okay, so that's pretty it for this one form. The other form that I gave was this get out of this house in 15 minutes. Sometimes they call this exit pass, or sometimes in some other international schools, usually they call this thing as escape rooms. During the activity, they will be saying, teachers will be telling students to have like, okay, there's 2 rooms, Each room will be having a question. Your objective is to leave this house by opening those two rooms. And each room will be having a question. You've got to answer the question in the first room in order for you to get to the second room where you need to answer another question, things like that. And then you can somehow restructure this so that it will be, you have a question that is an application of what they just learned from your classes. So this can be given at the end of your class, right? At the end part of your class, as something that checks them whether they understood the learning material. Or you can also do this somewhere else. It depends on some creativity. But in my case, I usually do this when I'm done with some topics and I want to have some checking in a fun way, like this one. In this case, I know most of you write the email here and then click next, and then you will be having the same question. If what you wrote is wrong, then you will be revert back to the original question. If you answered correct, you will be moved to the next one, and so on until you answered all the questions. Then you have escaped. All right. I created a video here, and then I was interested with Kim Chu's bawal lumabas thingy. I think this is an idea on that. You might, if you are interested, I put the link in the chat box. You might want to click that one, and you can see this again, even in later times. All right. So this is the escape room, and I modified the escape room to make it appear like a module. I don't know. There are many ways on how to write modules, and I heard that some of you are tasked to create a module for some subjects, and the modules are like written and printed. But the module shouldn't just be a printed one. It can be also online. Like we can modify this escape room or virtual escape room or digital escape room as they call it, such that it will look like a very short module or just a module for a certain topic. It is like an activity that you can call as an example of an asynchronous kind of classwork. All right. The sample module that I created here was this, if you still remember. So this one, email address, they will input something, and then they will be told about the objectives, and then okay, let's put some email here. That one. So that I can make this, I can move to the next one. All right, so those things, preliminaries about the concept being presented in your module can just be placed here. Okay, can just be placed here. Okay, so and then when you're done with that, you have read everything, or your students have read all those things, they will be navigated to the next part of the module, which is this part where you can put here your own video, or maybe you can take some videos from the internet, or maybe you can just say, you can just give them some link to something that they need to read somewhere in the internet, if this is going to happen online. And then after that, if they have done doing all those materials you provided, then it's time for them to click next so that they can assess themselves whether they really learned the material themselves. So I'll click this. Then I get a prompt question which will determine whether I understood it or not. So the first question is this. So maybe this one. Maybe I answer 10/2 when I click next, because this is wrong. So I'll be navigated here. This is wrong. Okay, so there's an instruction here that you have to go to the same page again to maybe review the materials that were given to you. So I came back here. Then when after that, they can just click this again, and maybe they have learned it already. So they pick 1/5, and then they click this. Because that one is the correct answer, they were navigated here. Okay, they are ready for the second prompt question. Now let's see, click next. All right, this is the second question. In that particular topic, And then there is a prompt question here. Maybe the answer, maybe we can pick this one, 25 over 100. This is 0.25. We want this to be expressed in as fraction, 25 over 100. This is correct, though this is not expressed in the simplest form, as based on the instructions that you gave, like this. Then they click this. Then, though it's similar or the same, it won't be considered because it's not in the simplest form. So they will be receiving this, and maybe they can have some. You can give them some intervention. Maybe this one can be something about refreshing their knowledge on how to express in the simplest form. Okay, something like an intervention. Maybe the kid pick that or select that option because he knows the idea from the module, but he forgot about what is a simplest form. All right, so maybe your intervention here is something like a prerequisite to the lesson. All right. Okay, so we go. So imagine that the student already clicked this and then ready to do the question again. So they will be navigating to the question again. Then they realize that 25 over 100, 25 over 100, sorry, but forget about what I said a while ago. I was referring to 25 over 100. Okay, now 25 over 100 in the simplest form is going to be 1/4. All right, so if they pick this, everyone, all of you who are watching this know that this one is the correct answer. So what do we expect? This part here. Okay, you can put some very nice positive phrases here, reinforcement. All right, to reinforce what this kind of behavior that they got, study hard or things like that. All right. Okay, then they can go now to this. So this one is the reverse of the first question, the first topic. The first topic was decimals to fractions. This one is fractions to decimals. So there is another lesson that they're going to watch. You can videotape yourself talking there, or you can also get some resources somewhere, and then you put it here. Let the students do it. After when they're done, they can click the next, and then prompt questions appear also, like this one. All right. Now let's go to the correct answer now directly. This one is the correct answer. So what do we expect? We go to the good positive reinforcement here. Then we can go to the next one, question 4. Then maybe the answer here is 2.4. Click that one. So they are done. Positive reinforcement also. Okay. Now those questions that I just presented to you guys are like prompt questions, but are not graded. So it's like something that checks them whether they need more intervention. Okay. Now the real thing that you are going to record is gonna be the graded quiz after this. All right. I mean, this is one way of to do on how to do it. You can think of something better. I'm trying to stress or emphasize that this thing is always depending on the creativity of the teachers who are actually doing it. All right, so I click next. So what will happen is like a quiz, like that. The same with what I have a while ago, like this. All right. It's just that there's no need to type the email anymore. All right. There's no need to type the email anymore. Okay, because this is just inside that same form that we are using. Okay, they can do the questions here. All right. This time it's not MCQ anymore. Okay, you see, like that one. It depends on you, on how are you going to do this thing. And you can also create a lot of questions here. And then when they click submit, the responses will be recorded in the form for you as teacher to see that and see the summary or to review the responses individually and so on. Okay, so that's for the form. Okay, maybe another thing that you can do here. So, because in some cases, for example, in this case, yeah, I know the problem when it comes to setting papers in mathematics is that, for example, you want to you want to create a question in a Google form that says, all right, the equation of a parabola is equal to y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, things like that. And then your question is, find which among the graph is the parabola representing the parabola with a equal to this number, b is equal to this number, and c is equal to this number. So typing the question itself is very easy for you, but finding a picture from the internet is most likely very hard because you're dealing with different, sometimes there are some graphs like this, but this one doesn't have the same intercept, or maybe the graph is like that. All right, it doesn't have any. It has a different gradient or slope. Okay, maybe you found something like this, but it is opening at the other side. All right, leftward. All right, things like that. So what you can do here, guys, is do this in Google form. I do this one in Google form. Maybe you can type your questions here. Actually, this one can also be done by as an alternative for your PowerPoint. But my target is just to show you how you can get some what is that, graphs yourself without if you need those for your Google form. And also you can use this in PowerPoint or whatever kind of presentation tools that you're going to use. All right, this one is it. I have here this. I'll tell you which one. Which one is this? This is an add-on, but I'll give you the link later. I just want you to see how it works first before I give you where you can get it. So this one is called equatio. All right, equat. All right. Now, if you are going to use this, I'll open a Google Doc. It should be appearing here. All right, hold on, yeah. If you're familiar with the GMATs, this is the GMATs was already removed everywhere in the internet. I think it's not being used anymore. It's not being used anymore, and the one that they are using now or promoting now is this one. Okay, all right. So here it is. Say, for example, you want to type, say, y equals 2x. All right, you can see. All right, y equals 2x plus 1. All right. So it's not very the aesthetics is not that good, but you can use you can use this application by using these icons here. If your concern is just how to write the equation properly, you can just click this. It's an equation, so you click equation editor. So this one, you can just type in here y equals 2x, say 2x plus 1, and then you just click insert here, and that one will appear in your Google Doc or Google Slide or in some other applications from Google. All right. There are also some part of your equations in mathematics that requires other things. Like, for example, this one, other layout. This one is very hard to type in a normal document. All right, like this one, the matrix. You have these things. Okay. I know you all got the idea that in mathematics there's one kind of notation that is seldom used in other subjects, especially those under the humanities and arts stream. Usually in science streams we are using this, especially in physics. I usually use these ones, and if you have those kind of equations, you just click this one. If you have this application installed, all right, or add-on installed, all right. Okay, so that's it. Now, if it comes to the graph, it's like what I showed in the form. I use it using this. You click on the graph here. All right. You just need to type the equation here. Like, for example, y equals 2x plus 1. This is the one that will appear with the gradient of 2 and a y-intercept of 1. All right, these are the ones that actually you can actually create use this. You project this on your Google Meet and ask your students to look at the one on the screen, and you can start discussing like what will happen if this one is 5. So they can easily see that this one is going to change. The gradient is going to change like that. Okay. Another way you can manipulate this. It was 1, so it hits this part of the y-axis, at the number 1. If you want it to hit number 2 in the y-axis, then you got to do it like that. Or 5. All right. You can max zoom in and out here also. All right. Okay, so that's how it is. If you want this to be included in your document or in your Google form, in your questions, you've got to insert graph here at the lower right corner of the screen. Now, the graph that they will be, because this one is never ending. This one is never ending. The one being shown in this square here is the one being going to be captured and put in your Google Docs or whatever document you have. All right. Like for example, I'll show you. I'll click insert graph here. I won't be seeing these things. All right. I will be seeing exactly what is in here. Okay. All right, so the graph is being is just generated like that. Okay, so also you have the LaTeX. I don't know if you're using this one in some mathematics classes in the Philippines right now, but this one is basically more of programming, computer science, like the codes like alpha like that, or maybe gamma like that. All right, so I don't think you need this that much. What is important is this thing. All right. Now, I want to show you also something. Hold on. I'll make this a little bit smaller. All right, I'll just delete this one to make it easier. I'll put here y, maybe y. If you're teaching science or you are doing, say, discussing some trigonometric functions thingy, you can just put it here like that one. You just follow the hierarchy of operation like that. So the moment we have this, hold on, it doesn't work. Inequalities can be graph also. Right, maybe that one. Okay, it's not showing. Maybe we go to the origin. It was like this. I zoom it so. Hold on, guys. Yeah, I did it so much a while ago. So this is it. All right, so that there you go. All right, so this one, guys, is the one that is automatically graphed after you type in this one. All right, you can just say 5 here. All right, you can show this to your students so that they can see what will happen to the graph if you change some parameters. Or another way to do this is, guys, if you can create a parameter like, for example, A, then you will see a slider here. Click that slider, and you can just slide this instead of typing it directly yourself. All right, like this one. All right. Okay, if we can add the same equation a while ago, the one that I presented, for example, 2x plus 1, like that. So it will be there also. If you can also use this in, for example, you have 2 equations and you want your students to find the point of intersection, things like that. This is a graphical representation for it. All right. The same thing. You can what you can tell them, you can show them what will happen if you change this thing. For example, that one is capital X. You have a slider. All right, I'll be changing the point of intersect, the y-intercept. So you see, you'll be easily seeing this. Or what you can do is to use this, for example, another parameter there. I pull down the slider and then do the slides. All right, so you see it's changing based on the slope or the gradient. Okay, and then if you're done, insert graph, and then there you have it. Okay, there. All right, maybe I can just stop for a while so people can, if you have some questions on the topic that I just talked about, I'll address that one later. If I still have time, I can present some of those things that I prepared. If not, I will be putting some possible materials for you through the YouTube channel that I created, where I usually put my videos for teachers, like the one that in the link a while ago in the chat box. Mr. Sunny and Miss Jane, can we?
Yes, Sir Marlon, thank you very much for that. So much information, and we are very much interested po, Sir Marlon. Any questions, Sir Aryo?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am Jane, may tanong po dito ay sir from Reneline. Ma'am Reneline, sir, can you give us those questions in your forms for as an example? Thank you po.
Sure.
Your kindness. Okay.
Yeah, that is my plan. I will be forwarding that one to Mr. Nuesca. But you see, these are the forms. What you can do, you will be given a link, and then click that link, and then you will be navigated to my file. And then what you will do is to create a copy of yourself, because there's no way you can edit that. If your intention is to just have a copy, something for you to follow, then you create a copy yourself, and that will make you the automatic author of that file. So if that is the case, you can edit it however you want it to be edited. I can give you all.
Thank you po, sir. So, another question po galing kay Sir Dan. How to put illustration or drawing? Is it possible to copy paste the drawing or picture, or the Google Classroom has icon to draw or illustrate in the form?
Can. There is this application called Google Drawing. Google Drawing is that you can actually ask you can ask the students, if your intention is to ask the students to draw, then what you can do, let me show you. What you can do is to pick this icon here. I think I don't have it. But even in the slides, if you want to insert drawing, you will be navigated to the Google that platform yourself. You will be navigated there, and you can start doing your drawing. And also, the good thing about this Google Drawing is that you can ask two kids to draw something at the same time, or whatever number they have in one group. This one can Google app. This is a different app which is integrated in Google Classroom for the drawing. If you want to draw it yourself. Did I answer the question? Did I understand?
Yes, of course. Yes, sir. Same with the questions of Sir Roel Amparo and Joshua Evaristo for the illustrations, pictures coming from Google, or do we need to create our own? It was also answered by Sir Marlon.
You can download.
Yeah.
From Google. We can go and download from Google. The only problem is that if it's just a graph or some other things that you can do yourself, I would always recommend to teachers not to use those in Google's, because some of those are actually having some copyright. It's like a intellectual property. So
yeah,
if it's just a graph, then you just use the one that I presented right now. Just now. If it's just a shape, a simple shape, you can do it yourself. If it's a graph, and the good thing in the graph, you can. If you change a parameter in your equation, the graph will change also. So it's gonna be very hard for you to find exactly what you want in the internet, especially maths. So what I suggest, in terms of graphing, in terms of equation, you better use the one that I presented just now. I'll give you the link to the add-on. This is actually an add-on. This is not a Google application, but it's an add-on or extension for the other Google app. It will work in Google Docs. It will work in Google Slides. It works in Google Forms as well. Yun po. Any other question?
Yun po, kay Sir Adrian naman po, sir. Sir, meron po ba tayong apps para po makita in detailed ang number sa number lines? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
In detail?
Opo, mas detalyado daw po.
We can use that app also. We can use that app. You just need to zoom. Use the zoom thing.
Okay. So, i-zoom lang po pala.
Zoom lang yan. I think it's unlimited. I haven't reached the limits. I don't know kung saan po siya mag-end. If I zoom it in or out, I don't know kung ano yung limit ng software nila.
Okay, so just zoom in, zoom out lang, sir. Sorry,
Yes,
thank you po. Another question from Sir Ruel Amparo po. Question po ulit. Kung iOS po ang phone ng learner instead of Android, will it work out?
Opo, wala pong problema. Yung pong gamit ko ngayon, iOS, at meron din po akong Android. I tried both. It works. It works. The one you are seeing on your screen right now, the one I presented with this graphing thingy, I am actually using Mac, so it's related to iOS. It works here.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, sir, paano naman daw to? Sir, what is the name of the add-ons that you use po doon po sa illustration?
Okay, itatype ko po doon sa the name is Equatio. This one. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly, but it is spelled like that. I put it in the chat panel.
Capital I-O yun, sir?
Capital I-O.
Okay. So, Equatio.
This was, if some of you, I think, when I was, by the way, I was also teaching maths before, and I have a DOST scholarship in Mindanao State University where I was teaching maths. But they prefer to give me physics, so that's why I was stagnant. Maybe I wasn't very good in maths, that's why it's always been physics. So when I was teaching maths, I was using GMaths. This is like an application, like for Word before. But this GMath, I know some of you are familiar with it. Most likely, if you're setting your papers before and you want exactly an equation that you need, the oldest one recommended is the GMath. But that one is already removed from the market. All right, in the App Store or Google Play Store, they removed that one because they replace it with this new app, the Equatio.
Ayun. More question po mga ma'am, sir, just comment po sa comment box po natin.
Habang wala pa pong comments, another thing, if you have this, you have here also speech input. If you click this one, especially if you have some students that have some issues, physical issues, and in front of their computer, they can use this one is using speech recognition. Like for example, this one, I'll say here, y equals. You have to click this. Y equals 5x. So as you can see, the equation is being written in there at the right side. Sorry. But another thing, I put here xy equals 1. So that one, it will be written there. And another thing, for math and sciences, the two tools that usually use, for example, chemistry, periodic table, you have it here. Okay, it's kind of interactive. And I know calculators has already been discussed. We also have a simple calculator here. Okay. So the technique that our second speaker yesterday is really very helpful, especially in higher subjects, in higher level of mathematics subjects. But you also have, if you install this add-on, you will be having this thing as well. All right, mostly stems tools. All right, is there any more questions?
Just a moment.
Meron pa po ba?
Ayun po. Wala na po.
I think wala na po. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, Sir Marlon Uson, our science and math IT combined expert in all of the educational apps he presented. Very impressive, and what he taught us are very useful for us on our online teaching. Really engaging session. Now, Sir Marlon, may question po kami. If ever gusto talaga nilang ma-deep into sa iyong mga discussions, can we call you or where do we have to follow you po?
Pwede po, kasi itong Google Classroom na to, I most likely be deleting this one. So I recommend you go to the YouTube channel, because I have some additional materials with regards to Google Apps there, and then there are some tips. You can just watch other YouTube channels about how do this application works. But I was thinking of somehow restructuring everything so that it will fit to whatever we need. So
Yeah.
I'm doing that actually because I most likely will be having some sharing again when the school reopens here in Indonesia. And right now, those old teachers that we have here, they need some more, push, or
Yes.
they need more knowledge about the application app. So that's why I created this video. And I think because you are starting your online teaching in the Philippines as well, these videos that I created, you can just watch it there. And then if you have some questions, you can just type in there under the comment section, and then I will address that as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you very much for the information of everybody. Ako po, Sir Guru, stalker muna ako. I visited already your YouTube page, YouTube channel, I mean. Meron siya, yung pong mismong kaniyang icon, ang kaniyang avatar doon. Tama po ba, Sir Marlon?
Opo.
Okay. Any more that you'd like to ask? Wala na po ba?
Ayun, ma'am, may tanong po ulit, ma'am. JP.
Pahabol po, Sir Marlon.
Hindi po, ma'am. Parang yung itong recorded na webinar po natin ngayon po, makakakuha daw po ba sila ng copy, ma'am?
Yes, definitely. All our speakers are providing us a copy of their presentation, and of course, we have a record of this webinar sessions, which will be available to you soon po through your education program supervisors of your respective division po. Ang dami-dami pong comments dito sa chat box natin, Sir Marlon, no? Napakagaling daw po ninyong speaker, and ang dami-dami po naming natutunan. Maraming salamat po. Words cannot express how inspiring you are, and you have made a difference, lalo na po we are venturing into the new normal. Ganyan din po ba sa school situations ninyo?
At the beginning, ganun po. Kaya lang nag-undergo na po kami ng 4 months of teaching. What I'm sharing to you right now is yung mga natutunan ko before at natutunan ko within this last term. Basta nakatapos lang po kasi ng school dito. Nasa holiday po kami. Hindi nga lang ako makauwi.
Okay po. So kami po, next school year, online. Walang face-to-face. Bawal ang face-to-face. Bawal lumabas. Sabi nga po ni Kim Chu.
If you need some help, I would like... Actually, I prepared a lot. But nasa kalahati pa lang po ako. Pero if they have something, I will be sharing it in the YouTube channel. You can just take it from there. And the materials I prepared, I will be putting in the descriptions. In the descriptions of the channel.
Thank you. Sabi nila kulang daw ang time. Can we still invite you for another webinar session po in the coming future?
Yes, miss. It's going to be all right.
Thank you very much. Maraming salamat, Sir Marlon Uson. Ang dami po naming natutunan, ang dami niyo pong naturo sa amin, and rest assured that we will be your follower, and we pray that you'll always be having time to answer our queries. Maraming salamat, Sir Nestor. Salamat po sa pag-invite kay
Welcome
Sir
po.
Marlon Uson. Okay po, time check. It's 11:52.